The rubber game of a three-game series between the Lancaster Barnstormers and New Britain Bees. And there were points today where we didn't think this game would be a reality, but at least for the moment, the weather is cleared out of the area, and we are going to be able to play baseball, at least start baseball, here this evening. Good evening, everyone, from Central Connecticut, where the Lancaster Barnstormers are not only glued to what's going on here, but also to what's going on in York and later on in Sugar Land. Tonight could be the night that the Lancaster Barnstormers will wrap up the first playoff berth in 3 years. But oddly, it doesn't depend one bit what happens here in New Britain. It all depends on what goes on in York and what goes on in Sugar Land. With a Sugar Land win and a York loss both tonight, the Barnstormers will wrap up that playoff berth. Now, on the flip side of all of this, if the Barnstormers win tonight, then they clinch the wild card, and it doesn't matter what York does as far as that is concerned. And one more York loss or Sugar Land win would lock up the second half title for the Sugar Land Skeeters, creating the wild card, which would then belong to the Barnstormers. Are you confused yet? Well, so are we. And if you think the Barnstormers picture is muddled, you should see what it's like when you consider the possibilities for the Long Island Ducks and the York Revolution beyond the Barnstormers. That'll really make your head spin. I had a long conversation via text earlier today with the broadcaster for the Long Island Ducks, Michael Pollock, and we both left each other sort of very befuddled by the time that text conversation was over. At the same time, I do think that we have the picture Long Island could also clinch tonight with a Somerset win, believe it or not, a Long Island win, and a York loss. The picture could be coming clearer. Right now, the Road Warriors have an advantage on the York Revolution in game one of the doubleheader. Do not count York out of any game, especially in their own ballpark. They will fight back. They know that their playoff hopes are hanging by a thread over at Peoples Bank Park. Meanwhile, the Barnstormers tonight have Jonathan Albaladejo on the hill. Albie is 8-7 with a 4.43 ERA, coming off a brilliant game against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs last Friday. He started off a little bit rocky, but then from inning 3 on, he held a 4-3 lead, went through 8, struck out a season-high 9. He got the splitter working. He was devastating once he did. He'll be matched up against a right-hander named Devin Burke. The Barnstormers have faced him before. Burke comes in with a 4-2 record and a 4.11 earned run average. There will be baseball here tonight at New Britain Stadium. How much baseball? That is up to the weatherman. It has been raining most of the day. It let up finally about an hour and a half ago. It's taking a little extra to get the teams and the field ready, hence the 10-minute delay in our start here tonight. And there are spotty showers dotting the map around Connecticut. One could pass through here. We really don't know at this point. I think once we would get through about the 8 o'clock hour, we're supposed to be good the rest of the way. The Barnstormers picked up several new players over the last couple of weeks, and one of those is Steven Perez. We went to bring Steven in last night for the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report, and, well, let's face it, your local radio guy had a brain cramp, technically, so we're bringing you that interview tonight, and I'll be back with Steven Perez in just a moment right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Hi everyone, Adam Gockenauer here for Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg. We are as excited as you that it's baseball season, and we are thrilled to once again be partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers. We are also excited this season to introduce some awesome new appliance colors on display now. Come and see the new colors of slate, black stainless, and black slate. These colors will give your kitchen a great look, and of course, all of them are at the best prices around now at Gockenauer's. I'll be back after the break to tell you about our special Barnstormers summer promotions.
Welcome back to tonight's edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Joining me is the new Barnstormer shortstop, Stephen Perez, and officially welcome to Lancaster. And I know you know the lay of the land in central Pennsylvania because you've been at Harrisburg for years, but welcome to our side of the river.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot better. Definitely no mayflies in the area, so that's a treat.
Yeah, we've had an opportunity to see what you can do at the shortstop position. Got great range, great arm. You obviously pride yourself a lot on your defense.
Yeah, definitely. It's something I've always looked forward, especially with the Nationals. I was able to work with my infield coordinator there, Jeff Garber, who's helped me a lot throughout the years, and we've pretty much broken down the infield from head to toe, and it's helped me a lot throughout my career.
Yeah, we've seen you do some great stuff. Then there was last Thursday night. You got it out of your system.
Yeah, definitely. That's something, it happens. Not everyone's perfect, but all I can do is learn from it and try to move on from it and trying to do the best I can to help this team to get to the playoffs.
Well, it was great watching you bounce back the next night because you came right back the next night. Russ doesn't like sitting people after a bad game. He likes getting you right back out there. You came back the next night. You made some great plays. And, it was a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm already at the point in my career where I can't let one night affect the rest of my playing. So I'm definitely going to go out there and try to help this team as much as possible and try to win the playoffs.
Your time with the Nationals, you did get to spend a little bit of time at AAA. Tell us about how exciting that was and how close you might have been to getting to the major leagues.
It was definitely a great, exciting moment because it allowed me to realize that I can play in that area with those group of guys. Now, in the aspect of being close there, I don't know if I was part of the Nationals Washington's plans of making it to the big leagues, but I know I belong in that area and with those group of guys, and I can definitely compete with them.
And this year you had an adventure we can all relate to in Lancaster, and that's playing for Butch Hobson for the season in Chicago, or at least a large chunk of the season in Chicago. You were there for those memorable moments that went viral.
Yes, definitely. I thank Butch Hopkins and the Chicago Dogs a whole lot because they were able to allow me to continue my career as a baseball player, and I would always be grateful for what they did for me over there. And Butch is an amazing manager. Yes, he does have moments where you're laughing and you want to just reach out to him and hold him and tell him, hey, slow down here a little bit. But he treated me amazingly, and I give him everything.
Yeah, and he highly recommended you to Ross to come over here once your season was done in Chicago, and Ross has been able to take you in and with Vladimir down, find an everyday role for you.
Yeah, I told Butch I wanted to keep playing. This is what I'm here for. I love this game, and as long as I can play this baseball game, I'm going to do that. And he gave me the opportunity to be able to do that.
Yesterday, you got to do something a little bit different, play on artificial turf. I know there are some fields around. We don't have any in the Atlantic League. What was it like being out there on the carpet at Millersville?
Well, first of all, it wasn't dry at all. So you expect the turf field to be dry completely. But there was a lot of rubber around. So, the infield was playing a lot slower than most turf fields I've played on in the past. But it was fine. I mean, took it as it is.
Right, we could get the games in. Tell us a little bit about your time at the University of Miami, a legendary football program, but also a legendary baseball program.
University of Miami was amazing. Being able to get an education from that university was absolutely a great privilege. The guys and the memories I had going through there was amazing. Baseball was awesome. There's nothing I can say bad about University of Miami.
What'd you major in?
Sports administration.
Okay, so this is your career. You've made up your mind to that in one way, shape, or form. If you're not playing, you're going to be on the business side.
Definitely. I've been playing baseball since I was 4 years old, so there's nothing I've been looking forward to doing for the rest of my life.
Now, you're right from Miami. Did you consider going anywhere else, or were you all about the U growing up, and that's where you wanted to play?
I originally committed to the University of Florida, But within a week later, Miami called and my parents said, "Hey, look, just give him be open to them." And I did, and I ended up saying I wanted to go to Miami because I fell in love with it. And plus, I've been going to every game since I was a little kid, going out there to watch their baseball games.
Now, how far is that from home for you?
That's maybe 20 to 25 minutes, not too very far. So the parents were able to come out and watch every game.
That's got to be a big plus.
Definitely. Family is huge for me, and anytime I can get them out to come watch me play, it's amazing.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go. You've got a doubleheader to get ready for. Thanks for taking a few minutes to join us, and good luck in this Twin Bell.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Stephen Perez joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Starting lineups coming your way next on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Adam Gockenauer back with you again to tell you that we are back this season with Weber Gas Grills. We have the best selection and prices in the area on Weber, and if you mention this ad, you will receive 10% off all in-stock Weber accessories. Don't forget, we also fill your propane tanks here at the store. Don't waste money on exchanges when you can have us fill your tank and save you money. We are your appliance and gas grill headquarters. Come see us today on Main Street in East Petersburg or on the web at gockenauers.com.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Welcome back from New Britain Stadium. Here are the starting lineups for this evening's series finale against the Bees, the last road game of the regular season for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Darian Sanford will be leading off in center field. Tyler Bortnick, the second baseman, batting number 2. Blake Galen will serve as the designated hitter tonight. He is batting number 3. Ryan Castile is the catcher, hitting cleanup. Conrad Greger again in the batting order for the Barnstormers. Ross giving him an opportunity to play here in the Atlantic League. He's batting 5th and once again at third base. Trayvon Robinson is the right fielder, batting 6th. Casey Hobson at first base, hitting 7th. The shortstop is our pregame guest, Stephen Perez. He is batting 8th. Rico Noel is in left field and batting in the number 9 slot. Jonathan Albaladejo with an 8-7 record and a 4.43 earned run average on the hill for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Darren Ford in center field, leading off for New Britain. The first baseman batting second will be Angelo Sonko. Hitting third will be the right fielder, or the third baseman, Davidson Romero. Designated hitter Jason Rogers hitting cleanup. The left fielder is Jovan Rosa, batting 5th. Jamar Walton is the right fielder. He's hitting 6th. Jonathan Galvez at second base, batting 7th. James Skelton catching, hitting 8th. The shortstop in the number 9 slot is Vinny Sienna. And right-hander Devin Burke, who is 4-2 with a 4.11 earned run average, makes the start for the New Britain Bees. The Bees are eliminated from any playoff hopes. The Barnstormers are close, but not there yet. Could tonight be the night? It could be. It does not hinge on what happens here. That, however, could carry to a later date. The Barnstormers clinching tonight completely is based on what goes on at York and in Sugarland. The Skeeters' magic number is 2. The Barnstormers' magic number 1. They're for different things. The Skeeters first have to win the division. That magic number is 2 over the York Revolution. So a Sugarland win and 1 loss in the York Road Warriors doubleheader for the Revs tonight would lock things up for Sugarland. Then it reverts to the wild card. The Barnstormers' magic number over York for the wild card is 1. If the York Revolution lose a game tonight, that takes care of it, and the Barnstormers are in. If York wins both tonight and Sugarland loses to Long Island, well, everything is still alive for the Revs. Lancaster will not clinch. Long Island will not clinch, and we have to go to future days. Long Island can clinch tonight with a win, a York loss, and a Somerset win. And why Somerset winning? Well, it's all about that York-Somerset series over the weekend, and those were all the combinations that Michael Pollock, Mark Schwartz, and I were trying to work out. And if you're not familiar with who Michael and Mark are, the voice of the Long Island Ducks and the voice of the Somerset Patriots, respectively. So the Barnstormers ready to go here tonight. The umpires and the managers have exchanged the lineup cards. We'll be back with play-by-play baseball from New Britain Stadium in just a moment on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu. Final night of baseball at New Britain Stadium in 2018. The Bees wrap up their season on the road. They will take on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, scheduled for 4 games over the weekend. And with the likelihood that Hurricane Florence is headed a little bit more to the south, there is a better chance that those games will get in. But our hearts certainly going out to anybody in the path of what proves to be a ferocious and dangerous storm. And hopefully folks down there are heeding the warnings and evacuating from anywhere near the coastline and actually significant amount inland, because it is going to be in southeastern North Carolina, northeastern South Carolina, and I think well inland, a very, very bad storm. And even the the chance of very, very bad flooding into Appalachia and the Ohio Valley. Already, the storm has altered plans for some of the affiliated leagues for their playoffs. The Carolina League was scheduled to have a championship series involving Buies Creek in North Carolina, a home of Campbell University, a franchise that will be moving into Fayetteville next year. And they have decided that is a one-game winner-take-all series, and the International League has moved its championship series entirely up to Scranton, where the Rail Riders will host the Gwinnett Braves for that entire best-of-5 series. We are ready to go here tonight. Devin Burke on the hill for the New Britain Bees. He is making his 9th start and 24th appearance for Wally Backman's club. 4-2 with a 4.11 ERA. The native of Darien, Connecticut, 6'1", 205 pounds, has thrown 65 and 2/3 innings. He has allowed 58 hits, 30 earned runs. He has walked 20 and struck out 44. Sanford in to lead off against him. Darien's average has dipped to 270 for the year. He has driven in 32 runs. The pitch is outside, says the plate umpire Jonathan Conrad. Ball 1, no strikes. Tim Rosso with the first base chores tonight. Ryan Benson over at third. 1 ball, no strikes. Here is the motion. And to Sanford, that is fouled away to the left. Burke is even with him at a ball and a strike. Debinson Romero is at third. The shortstop is Vinny Siena. Jonathan Galvez at second. Angelo Sanko at first. Jovan Rosa, Darren Ford, and Jamar Walton form the outfield from left to right. James Skelton is doing the catching. Slap foul again by Sanford. And it is 1 ball and 2 strikes. We haven't seen Darien get around too much on pitches as of late. He has played every game since the 12th of August, including every inning of all 6 doubleheaders in the last 2 weeks. Fastball, that is strike 3 called on the inside corner. Darian Sanford goes down looking. Tyler Bortnick, the second baseman, will come to the plate. Bortnick hitting 197 with 6 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Last night, in the second game of the doubleheader, the Barnstormers managed only 2 singles, 8 batters struck out, and suffice it to say, there just may have been a little bit of rumbling once that doubleheader ended. Here's the first pitch, high and inside. Ball 1 to Bortnick, 1-0. Blake Galen, the designated hitter, due next. It is 330 down the lines, 400 to straightaway center field, and you have to clear a double-tiered wall here at New Britain Stadium. Bortnick looks at a breaking ball back to the inside corner. A called strike. It is 1-1. Bortnick trying to boost that average over the 200 mark by the end of the season. 1-1 pitch. He can't hold on the swing, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Galen, the DH, waiting to bat next. If anybody's on, it will be the catcher, Ryan Castile. For now, the plan is to go 9 innings tonight. If it rains, then that, of course, could change. Bortnick, fly ball just to the right of straightaway center. Ford angles over to make the catch. 2 up and 2 down. The designated hitter, Blake Galen, will step in. Galen thundered a 2-run homer to right center field in the first inning of play last night. It was his 25th home run of the year. He had 1 additional hit after that. His average stands at 284 on the season, and he has driven in 84 runs. 2 outs, base is empty. We're playing the top half of the first inning. Rubber game of this 3-game series. The season series also hinging on this game. Not that that is for anything but pride at the moment. A called strike on the inside corner to Galen. It's 0-1. The wind, the pitch, and a second strike to the inside edge. Galen played to pull. Well, he may have hit the ball the hardest of anybody in game 2 last night. A wicked grounder right to the first baseman at that time, Jason Rogers. Breaking ball almost hits him. It is ball 1, 1-2. Very leaden skies here in New Britain, Connecticut. Lancaster trying to advance to the playoffs. A win here helps the Barnstormers if York should win both of its doubleheader. Called third strike on the outside corner. Nothing across for the Barnstormers in the top half of the first inning. End of a half. Lancaster nothing, and New Britain coming up.
You can measure the power of the Lexus LS500's twin-turbocharged engine, the responsiveness of its adaptive variable suspension, and the clarity of its available 23-speaker audio system. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling only a Lexus can bring at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event, with exceptional offers on our most luxurious models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
So, John, what should the Eagles' focus be this season?
Eagles Fast Play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Eagles Fast Play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Eagles game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Right-hander Jonathan Albaladejo with the start tonight for the Barnstormers. It's his 23rd of the year. Jonathan is 8-7 with a 4.43 ERA. He is 1-0 in 2 starts against New Britain. He has thrown 126 innings. He leads the ball club, allowing 157 hits, 62 earned runs. Albie has walked 25. He has struck out 98. He'll be facing Darren Ford, the center fielder, leading off here in the bottom of the first inning. Ford at 270. With 7 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Angelo Sonko and Davidson Romero will follow. The wind up by Albaladejo. The pitch to Ford, a soft line drive that'll drop into left field for a leadoff base hit, and Sonko will step in. Albaladejo had that pitch more or less in on the hands of Darren Ford, but he got enough of it to yank it past the infielders. Leadoff runner is aboard. Sonko will step in. Conrad Greger at third. The shortstop is Steven Perez. Tyler Bortnick at second. Casey Hobson at first. Rico Noel is in left with Darian Sanford in center. Trayvon Robinson in right. And Ryan Castile once again doing the catching. Ross Peoples went with the same lineup he had for game 2 a night ago. Third baseman Greger plays up for the bunt. The middle infielders are at double play depth. Albaladejo comes to the plate. This is cracked foul down the left field line by Sonko. No balls and 1 strike. Barnstormers once again unable to get untracked in the ball game. In the last 8 innings now, have had only 2 base runners, and they have picked up 10 strikeouts. To Sonko, chopper speared by Albaladejo. He's going to go for 1 at second. They double up Sonko on the very quick double play. That goes 1-6-3. Albaladejo picking up 2 outs in a hurry. Davidson Romero, the third baseman, steps in. Romero drove in the only run in the second game last night with a long double in the first inning. After that, Joe Gardner was also magnificent. Gardner with a complete game 4 hitter in the loss. Joe's had a couple of games go like that down the stretch of this season. He also lost 2-0 to the Road Warriors. There's a pitch, ground ball pulled foul over toward the third base dugout, 0-1. The Barnstormers continue to rack up double plays. That the 102nd they have turned on the ground this season. No balls, 1 strike to Romero. We are scoreless in the bottom half of the first inning. That is lined at the second baseman. Bortnick positioned perfectly toward the middle. And Albaladejo is a 5-pitch inning in the bottom of the first. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 1, there is no score.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me,
Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine?
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Ryan Castile steps in to lead off the Barnstormers half of the second. 318 hitter is Castile with 15 home runs and 66 driven in. He went hitless, though, in game 2 last night. As a matter of fact, he doesn't have a hit now in his last 3 games, although one of those was a pinch hitting effort. Foul ball straight back, 0-1 against Devin Burke. He did walk once in the first game of the doubleheader on Monday. No balls, 1 strike, the count on Castile. Conrad Gregor and Trayvon Robinson will follow. This time, a pop-up that's going to stay in play. Over goes Angelo Sonko through the coach's box. He will make the catch. Castile is retired. Burke is set down 4 in a row. Here's Gregor. Conrad 1 for 3 in his Barnstormers debut a night ago. Conrad Gregor has gotten a double-A in the Houston and Boston organizations. Played for the Rockland Boulders earlier in this season, a franchise that, according to reports, will be joining the Atlantic League in the reasonably near future, next year or the year after. Pitch to Conrad has popped up. This should be playable for the shortstop, Sienna. He is searching the cloudy skies and will make the catch. That's 2 outs. Trayvon Robinson, the right fielder, coming to the plate. Robinson batting .294 with 7 homers and 48 runs batted in. Burke and Albaladejo solid here early. Devin Burke hasn't given the Barnstormers an inch. Robinson digging in. He had gotten his average up to 300 earlier in the doubleheader last night, then went 0 for 3 following that. Ground ball pulled to first base, broke his bat up with it as Sonko. A 4-pitch inning for Trayvon Robinson, nothing across. We'll go to the bottom half of the second in a scoreless tie.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
You can measure the sound of the Lexus LC500's naturally aspirated V8 engine and the quickness of its 10-speed transmission. The only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus high-performance line at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most exhilarating models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Jason Rogers, Jovan Rosa, and Jamar Walton stepping in the second inning for the New Britain Bees. A scoreless battle so far. The Barnstormers have yet to see a base runner, and New Britain got Darren Ford on the leadoff last inning. Albaladeo took care of that in a hurry, getting a double play. Here is Rogers batting .308. He has 5 home runs. He has driven in 63. And Albaladejo's pitch, a strike to the outside corner. It's 0-1. The last full inning, we had a total of 9 pitches. Albaladejo threw 5 and Burke only 4 in the top of the second. Albaladeo gets the second strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. 330 down the lines here, 400 straightaway center. Jonathan Albaladejo ready to go. 2-strike pitch buried in the dirt. Knocked down by Castile. It is ball 1 and 2 strikes. There rains other places in Connecticut, but we're good for a while here. Ball 2 off the outside edge. Looked like Albaladejo was exploring just how far out there he could go. And that was a little beyond Jonathan Conrad's scope of the strike zone. Here's a 2-2. Ball 3 now is inside to Rogers. A full count to the leadoff batter here in the bottom half of the second inning. Barnstormers with the day off tomorrow before the weekend series to conclude the regular season coming up against the Road Warriors. Rogers fouls one away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The continuing count. Jovan Rosa, the left fielder, waits on deck. Here's the windup by Albaladejo. Back with the payoff pitch. Chopper on the left side. Into the hole goes Perez. He's got the long throw and the strong arm to do it. Rogers retired, 1 gone. Jovan Rosa stepping in. The left fielder is batting .260 with 5 homers, 23 runs batted in. Defense will play back here. Here's the motion, and Albaladejo yanks it outside. A ball. It is 1-0. Jonathan has won 30 games here in the Atlantic League over 2.5 seasons. He won 15 for Bridgeport in 16 and 7 last year before his contract was purchased by the New York Mets. 8-game winner this season. Popped up, shallow right field. This is a tricky play. A long way back for Hobson. He dives for it. The ball lands just fouled by inches. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jovan Rosa. Trayvon Robinson could not get into the neighborhood. And Hobson came up a little bit short as well. A dead run out of the lumbering first baseman who does field his position very well. It's probably a double if the ball lands on the other side of the line. Rosa batting at a ball and a strike against Jonathan Albaladejo. Big right-hander into the motion is pitch. Ground ball again to the shortstop. Surrounded by Perez. The throw is there. 2 outs. Jamar Walton stepping in. Walton batting .280 with a dozen homers and 54 runs batted in. He was 0 for 2 with a walk against Joe Gardner in the second game last night. No score, lower half of the second inning. Here is the windup, and to Walton, first pitch strike, runs to the inside corner. It is 0-1. Smash on the left side, diving Gregor can't get to it. Walton has the second New Britain base hit. The Barnstormers played Walton to pull, but he doesn't always. Gregor was cheating over toward the shortstop position in a straight-up defensive alignment. That play would have belonged to Perez, probably to the backhanded side. Now Jonathan Galvez, the second baseman, checks in. He is a .277 hitter with 9 home runs and 45 driven in. 2 outs, runner at first base. Defense can lay back and play the hitter. The pitch, and Albaladejo misses that outside corner. Ball 1, no strikes. the skies look like they could open up at any minute here, but the radar says there is nothing near us. 1-0. Albaladejo to the plate, way outside. It is 2-0. James Skelton, the left-handed batting catcher, is due next. Barnstormers are going to certainly be glad for that day off tomorrow. 2-0, and that is roped deep down the left field line. It is going to bounce off the boards. Noel plays it there. He's going to keep a run from scoring. Into third goes Walton. Galvez has a double, and it's second and third for James Skelton. 20th double of the year for Jonathan Galvez. James Skelton with a chance to put New Britain up early, and the way Devin Burke has pitched the first 2 innings, that might be good enough. They're in the bottom half of the 6th inning at York. The Road Warriors are up 6-1. Albaladejo to Skelton. The first pitch is over but low. Ball 1, no strikes. Vinny Sienna, the shortstop, waiting on deck. Sienna has had a knack of coming up with some base hits against the Barnstormers this year. 210 hitter overall. 1-0. Albaladejo to Skelton. That ball cracked out the right field and down for a base hit. 1 run will score. They're going to wave around Galvez. The throw coming in, and it's cut off ahead of the plate by Castile. He can make no play on Skelton, and New Britain is up by a 2-0 score. The Barnstormers just look like they're out of gas, and they could use the Road Warriors to hold on to that first game. Skelton drives in 2. Vinny Sienna, the shortstop, stepping in, hitting .210 with 4 homers and 24 runs batted in. Lancaster down by a pair after Albaladejo retired the first 2 batters pretty easily here in the 2nd inning. Sienna batting with Skelton at second. 2 outs, and to Sienna. This is lifted out to right field. Charging in Robinson. Long way to go, won't get there. And home to score is Skelton to make it 3-0. Robinson was playing very deep against Sienna, and that pop fly dropped in front of Trayvon. 4 2-out hits in a row for the New Britain Bees. Darren Ford will get his second turn at the plate. Ford singled to left field back in the first inning. Robinson, this is a very big outfield, but he was back a ways against Sienna. Ford stands in, trying to extend the 3-0 New Britain lead. Albaladejo to the plate. That is cut on and missed for a strike. It is 0-1. Sienna leading from first base. Albaladejo will go to work on Ford. And the pitch, chased, a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. 4 straight 2-out hits, a ground single through the left side by Walton. Galvez bangs a double off the wall and left. Skelton singles home 2. And then Sienna drives in 1. Two strikes, the count to Ford. Time called briefly. The one-time national giant and Diamondback, Albaladejo, facing the one, I said national. The runner goes, the pitch is grounded toward the middle, and up with it, Perez. He'll fire across. Steven with all 3 assists in the inning. I meant to say the one-time national Yankee and Diamondback against the one-time giant. Anyway, 3 runs on 4 hits with no errors and a man left. We're on our way to the 3rd inning. New Britain is up 3-0.
The area's most unique beer fest is coming to Clipper Magazine Stadium on Sunday, September 9th during the Barnstormers game against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That afternoon, samples from over 20 local breweries will be made available throughout the right field hospitality areas. Souvenir pint and sample glasses and a broken bat hat will go to everyone buying a ticket. VIP tickets are available for early entry and limited releases. For more information, go to www.lancasterbarnstormers.com.
So, John, what should the Steelers' focus be this season?
Steelers fast play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Steelers fast play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Steelers game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Here's Casey Hobson to lead off the Barnstormers half of the third inning. Casey at 225, 10 home runs. He has driven in 42. He gets a ball inside from Devin Burke. It is 1-0. Lancaster in the hole, 3-0 here in the third inning. The Barnstormers have yet to pick up a base runner against Burke. Next delivery, Hobson checks and gets ball 2 below the knees, 2-0. Steven Perez, the shortstop, on deck, and then the left fielder, Rico Noel. They are in a rain delay in Somerset. The Patriots scheduled to host the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That could have an effect on the postseason. Wrapped on the ground and underneath the glove of the sliding Jonathan Galvez. Hobson aboard on a leadoff single here in the third inning. That brings on Perez. 5 out of 27 for the new Lancaster shortstop. Vladimir Frias is due to come back. The Barnstormers are actually going to have a personnel logjam if Paredes returns and Schumann returns. Obviously, big parts of the puzzle. But if you're Ross Peoples, what do? You get to name 25 people to the playoff roster for that first round series. If it happens, it's either Sugarland or Somerset coming in on Tuesday. Here's the pitch to Perez. That is bounded foul up the first base side. Rolling to Josh Bell, coaching for the second consecutive game over there. 0-1 to Perez with Hobson at first, nobody out. 4 consecutive base hits with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning, doing the damage to Jonathan Albaladejo here. Perez bats 0-1. Infield sets for the possible double play ground ball to Perez. He reaches for it and misses. Burke has him 0-2. Right-hander is ready. Wastes the pitch, down and away. Perez will bat at a ball and 2 strikes. Burke's last appearance was a week ago tonight. He defeated Long Island 4-3, giving up 5 hits and 3 runs in 6 innings. He's gone at least 6 innings, 5 starts in a row. 1-2. High to Perez, ball 2 and 2 strikes. The way he's pitching tonight, you could see why. The Barnstormers faced him on August 11th. He did not get a decision in that ball game, nor did he on July 27th. He had a win out of the bullpen against Lancaster back on June 13th. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Perez fouls it away. Sticks in there with the leadoff man on, nobody out. They've gone to the 7th inning at Peoples Bank Park with the Road Warriors leading 6-1. The Barnstormers are, because of that, 5 outs from clinching a wild card spot. Inside and low, 3-2 on Perez. And I've had people ask me, well, what about Long Island? Well, if Long Island plays well enough to catch the Barnstormers for overall record, they win the second half. It's a moot point. So it's all between Lancaster and York right now. As far as the Barnstormers are concerned, there's ball 4 outside. Perez bringing it back from 0-2. He's got the walk. And Rico Noel will bat with runners at first and second. First, though, Mauro Gazzo asks for time and heads on out to the mound. Major leaguer, most known for being a Blue Jay, but he can leave this stadium and go to his high school reunion because he went to high school just up the hill at New Britain High. I crossed paths with Morrow in the Carolina League back in 1986. He was with the Lynchburg Mets at the time. The Lynchburg Mets dominated the Carolina League for a few seasons. 83, they had Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry in there. 85, they won nearly 100 games, although they lost in the postseason. Star of that team was a first-round draft choice by the name of Sean Abner from the Mechanicsburg area. Breaking ball is outside and low, 1-1. Some folks might remember the Abner brothers. I had the chance the following year to work with Sean's older brother, Ben. Wonderful family. 1 ball, no strikes to Noel. 2 on, nobody out. No sign of Rico squaring around to bunt. He'll get ball 2 outside. Suddenly, Devin Burke has missed with 6 pitches in a row. Arian Sanford waiting on deck. Tide starting to turn here in the 3rd inning. Lancaster with its first 2 base runners. Two and nothing to Noel. Runners take their leads. Here's the pitch. Rico with a ground ball toward the hole at short. That is smothered by Sienna. Throw to second base is in time to force Perez. Wonderful play made by Sienna in the hole. Noel safe on the fielder's choice. Perez just out, 6-4. Here is Darian Sanford, a strikeout victim. He went down looking back in the 1st inning. It was a close play at second. Sienna had a little trouble getting rid of the baseball. He finally got it out of his glove and fed Galvez in the nick of time. Hobson at 3rd, Noel at 1st. Rico with 50 stolen bases for the year. Does he feel he can get a jump off of Devin Burke? He's going to get a pickoff throw, and he's back in. He was leaning. If the Road Warriors hold on against York in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and it's still the Revs in that ballpark, so assume nothing. But if York holds on, this game and every other Barnstormer game largely is rendered meaningless for the remainder of the season, just playing for personal pride and stats, but not the standings. Sanford fouling a ball away, down a strike, it's 0-1. And Ross can use the weekend to rest some weary bodies. He'll probably have Galen DH just so he can play in every game this year, but Sanford, I think, could use a day off. He'll try and work everybody in there somehow. No balls and 1 strike, spinning Sanford around, 1-1. 3-0 New Britain, top half of the 3rd inning. Runners leading from the corners. Sanford bats at 1-1. Noel starts, doesn't go. That is lined up the middle, base hit center field. Here comes Hobson to score. Noel had to make sure that Galvez couldn't catch it. He pulled up. Runners are at 1st and 2nd. Sanford drives in his 33rd run of the season as Hobson could just jog home. Here is Tyler Bortnick batting with Noel at 2nd, Sanford at 1st. And if they feel they can get going, you've got the 2 best base stealers in the Atlantic League, or at least the 2 most prolific base stealers in the Atlantic League. Aboard with 1 out, trying to get the tying runs into scoring position. 50 for Noel, 77 for Darian Sanford. Bortnick fly to center field, his first time up. Burke is going to look at the runners. Lead man takes off. The throw will go to the trailer. Sliding in is Sanford. He gets there as well. A double steal. They pull it off, and the Barnstormers continue to add to their stolen base totals. Meanwhile, a strike on Bortnick, but a base hit can tie the game. Lancaster now with 249 stolen bases for the year. They need 15 more to get to the league record. 51 for Noel, 78 for Sanford. One strike, the count on Bortnick. Burke to the plate, line drive toward right center field. Slicing away from Ford, he'll be there to make the catch. Tagging is Noel, he will score. And on to third base goes Darian Sanford. A sac fly makes it 3-2. Bortnick hit that ball hard. Ford got on it quickly and was able to run it down. Blake Galen coming to the plate with the tying run at third, 2 outs. Here in the top half of the third inning, Blake caught looking at his third strike back in the first frame. The double steal picking up the second run of the inning ultimately for the Barnstormers. Here's a pitch to Galen, far outside, a ball. It is 1-0. Catcher Ryan Castile waiting on deck. They've gone to the bottom of the seventh inning at Peoples Bank Park. Road Warriors are up 6-1. Here's the pitch to Galen, swinging and missing at a pitch down low. Ball 1, strike 1. The play by Sienna in the hole looming large. In fact, Vinny Sienna has already had a terrific game for this Bees ball club. Had an RBI single in the bottom of the second. Galen pops this up. It'll twist into the crowd along the first base side. Burke has him at 1-2. The York Revolution have a 5-run rally in them. One ball, 2 strikes to Blake Galen. Here's Burke's pitch. Again, far outside. Skelton with the stop. It is 2-2. Ready to go is Devin Burke. Ball 3, missing the outside corner. Galen has fought back to a full count. Devin Burke certainly hasn't given the league RBI leader very much in this third inning at bat. Payoff is coming. Here is the 3-2. Galen will drive this in the air to left field. Long run, Jovan Rosa, but he will be there. The ball holding up for him. And that brings the inning to a conclusion. The Barnstormers battle back with 2 on 2 hits, no errors. And Sanford, left parked at third base, will go to the bottom of the third inning. New Britain leading by a score of 3-2.
You can measure the exceptional torque of the Lexus LX and the capability of its full-time 4-wheel drive. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus line of SUVs at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most capable models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments in honor of the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at
Angelo Sonko leads off the New Britain half of the third. We have a one-run battle. The Bees up 3-2. Sonko bounced into a 1-6-3 double play back in the first inning. Jonathan Albaladejo into his motion. The pitch to Sonko fades to the inside corner. A strike taken. It is 0-1. York is putting together a threat in the bottom half of the seventh inning. As I said, assume nothing. The Road Warriors are a little bit thin on pitching. The starter, Alberto Rodriguez, still in the game. He's thrown 113 pitches. No balls and a strike to Sonko. Albaladejo winds, brings it home. That is bounced foul. Jonathan ahead 0-2. New Britain with a 3-run second inning. The Barnstormers come back with 2 in the top half of the third to Sonko off the outside part of the plate for ball 1. Albaladejo has not been able to find the splitter, his strikeout pitch, yet tonight. 1-2. Strike 3 at the knees. Sonko goes down looking, and that's the first punch out for Albaladejo tonight. 99 for the season. With 1 away, Davidson Romero will step in. Albaladejo had that strikeout pitch working on his last start Friday night, better than he has at any other time this season. He found it about the fourth inning. At one stretch, he struck out 7 out of 11 hitters, and he retired all 11. Breaking ball stays inside to Romero. Ball 1-0. Davidson Romero spent some time in AAA, had a couple of good years in Rochester. High pop fly, first base side. Over comes Hobson, the tarp and the railing in his way. He can't get there. Ball 1 and strike 1. Jason Rogers, the designated hitter, in the on-deck circle. 1 out, bases clear, a ball and a strike. The count on Romero. Time is called. Romero backing away. One offering popped up again, charging over Castile and Hobson, but once more, it will be in the seats, bouncing off concrete and being chased down now by a group of youngsters. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. The count on Romero. Jason Rogers, the designated hitter, waits on deck. It is over in York. The Road Warriors have come through. Ball 2 is inside, 2-2. A 6-1 victory over the York Revolution. The Barnstormers now officially own the wild card spot if it exists. And all it will take is a Sugarland win tonight, and the Barnstormers will be in the playoffs. The next Sugarland win or York loss will wrap it all up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's lined out the right field. Heading back is Robinson. Trayvon is there for out number 2. Second time in a row, Davidson Romero has hit the ball hard. Jason Rogers will come to the plate. Now, the Barnstormers, you want to win, but no longer is that essential. The Barnstormers are in if Sugarland wins tonight. They're at home against the Long Island Ducks, but that game has plenty of importance for Long Island, too. The Ducks trying to win the second half. And they still have work to do to also lock out York. No balls and 1 strike. Rogers with a bounder toward third. Right there is Greger. His throw across the diamond in time. Albaladejo gets the side in order in the bottom of the third at the end of 3. New Britain 3, Lancaster 2.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 1 left for New Britain. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left for the Barnstormers. Here's Ryan Castile leading off the 4th inning. The pitch is inside from Devin Burke, 1-0. New Britain out to a 3-0 lead. In the bottom of the 2nd, the Barnstormers responded with 2 runs last inning. RBI single for Darian Sanford. Sacrifice fly for Tyler Bortnick. Bouncer toward 3rd, playing it along the line. Behind the bag is Romero. His throw right on the money. Castile still without a hit in this series. Down 5-3, bringing on Conrad Greger. Greger, the 3rd baseman, popped to the shortstop his first time up. So we know the Barnstormers have the wild card. There still has to be one. Now we got to stop and think for a moment what this does for the Long Island York chase. Fastball, a strike at the knees on Greger. It is 0-1. Trayvon Robinson, the right fielder, waits on deck. Again, Sugarland wins or York loses 1 more game. The Barnstormers go to the postseason. Greger with a foul ball back and out of play. It is 0-2 on the lefty batter. Played in the College World Series for Vanderbilt back in 2011. That was before the time that Vanderbilt won the CWS, but he was there. Down and away. 1-2 on Conrad. Next offering. It's driven foul to the left and out of play. Ball 1, 2 strikes the count. The Road Warriors didn't just win that game. They pretty much dominated it. They out-hit York 11-3. No earned runs given up by Alberto Rodriguez. Osvaldo Martinez, 3 hits. Edwin Gomez, 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball up and in to Greger. Now 2-2. Robinson scheduled to follow. Down and in. Get another full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Barnstormer 3rd baseman. Need to get out the abacus for this Long Island race. Strike 3 is called on Conrad Greger. 2nd out in this inning. And Conrad displays a little bit of displeasure. He thought he had the walk. Here is Robinson. Trayvon grounded out, 3 unassisted, back in the 2nd inning. If Long Island wins 3 of the remaining 5 against Sugarland, they win the division. If they win 2, Somerset can take it by beating York all 4 times. Into the dirt for a ball on Robinson. It is 1-0, but that would lock York out. If they win 1, then Somerset has to go 4-1. They could beat York 3 times. So the Revs are still alive. Long Island would have to fall apart at Constellation Field. The Ducks won last night. Felipe Polino blew a save in the 9th inning. The Ducks beat him with 2 runs. Long Island winning 5-4 in that series opener. Trayvon Robinson bats 1-0. He looks at a breaking ball down at the knees. The count levels 1-1. Casey Hobson waiting on deck. Hobson, one of the 2 hits last inning. Vinny Sienna came up with a big play. Otherwise, the Barnstormers would have scored more than just the 2. Driven to center field by Trayvon. Ford will back up on it, retreating to make the catch for the final out. Lancaster goes down in 1-2-3 fashion. And for the last couple of games plus, the Barnstormers not able to drive any extra base hits here. Everything being caught. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is 3-2 New Britain.
You can measure the power of the Lexus LS500's twin-turbocharged engine, the responsiveness of its adaptive variable suspension, and the clarity of its available 23-speaker audio system. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling only a Lexus can bring at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event, with exceptional offers on our most luxurious models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
So, John, what should the Eagles' focus be this season?
Eagles fast play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Eagles fast play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Eagles game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Jovan Rosa, Jamar Walton, and Jonathan Galvez stepping in against Jonathan Albaladejo. Top of the order hasn't done much against Albie tonight, but the bottom 4 strung together consecutive base hits in the 2nd inning, producing 3 runs. First pitch strike in on Rosa. It is 0-1. Oh, it's increasingly likely that the Barnstormers will take on Sugarland starting on Tuesday in the first round series, the Freedom Division Series. By the way, the Barnstormers will only be in the Freedom Division Series for the 2nd time in 6 years. If somehow Somerset should overtake Long Island for the second half title and York make it, and that, by the way, is still a possibility, then the Barnstormers would face Somerset. 1-2 on Rosa. Here's the wind and the pitch, fouled off to the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now there are 9 games remaining between York and Sugarland, and only one has to be decided in the Barnstormers' benefit out of that. So you've got to think that it's so likely to happen that it's almost unfathomable that York would go 4-0 and Sugarland 0-5, but it's always possible. That's why we haven't clinched yet. Swung on and missed. Rosa goes down. Albaladejo strikes out his second, and it looks like once again Jonathan has started to really find his stuff here in the middle innings. Jamar Walton got the uprising started in the 2nd with a single into left field. He scored the first of the 3 runs there. 5 outs in a row recorded by the Barnstormers right-hander. The windup. Albaladejo to the plate, missing outside. Ball 1 to Walton. It's 1-0. If Rains should happen to move in here, especially after we get an official ball game, I don't know that anybody's going to fight it at this point. 1-0 to Walton, strike taken. The Barnstormers really don't want a long night here, and New Britain doesn't either. They've got to travel to Southern Maryland to wrap up the season, and the Barnstormers just need a breather. 1 ball and 1 strike. Line foul by Walton to the tarp. Albaladeo has him 0-2. And by the looks of things, we should be able to get the entire ball game in before rains would hit. We may very well drive through rain on the way home. 1-2 pitch, that is low. Albaladeo could not get Walton to bite for one down there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wind, Albaladeo to the plate, slash foul. Back to the very far edge of the screen on the third base side. Mar Walton, been with the Barnstormers, Southern Maryland, and up here in New Britain. Began this year in Mexico, joined New Britain fairly early on. He's had a very solid season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Albaladeo gets a little pop fly behind shortstop. Back on that is Perez for out number 2. Jonathan Galvez to the plate. Galvez with another loud double. He had one in the first inning last night, driving in 2. Set the stage for the 3-run second inning. He did not drive in a run. Noel played the ball very well off the wall, and New Britain did not send Walton. He was going to be thrown out at the plate, I have to think. Now to Galvez. He busts his bat. One hopper, Perez charging it, and he lets it get past him. The Barnstormers having trouble getting there, and Galvez will land up at second base. Steven Perez thought he could get to that ball on the fly, and when he failed to do so, it short-hopped him. He was on the dead run, and that is going down as perhaps the weakest double I've ever seen, but a double nonetheless. Because he got a piece of the ball, though it still got by him, it died on the outfield lawn, and nobody was in any position to get there and make a play. Galvez knew it. He had second base without an issue. And here is the catcher, James Skelton, stepping in. That became a shoestring attempt by Perez, and he almost had to charge that ball. If he doesn't, it might never get to him in time for him to throw out Galvez. He was really caught between the proverbial rock and a hard place. Here is Skelton. He singled home a pair of runs last time up. Albaladeo working to get him here. The pitch is a ball inside, 1-0. Albie shattered the bat and gave up one of the weirdest doubles you'll ever see. The ball hit right around the edge of the infield grass. Perez unable to get to it, racing in. Ball 2 is now inside and low with Sienna waiting on deck. And he was off balance with the lunging try, and the ball shot past him. It's just like an outfielder trying to make a shoestring grab. Same thing. 2 balls and nothing. Galvez, the runner at second base. Skelton awaiting the pitch from Albaladeo, the motion, and it's on its way. Ball 3, missing outside and low. This is the second time this part of the order has built something against Albaladeo. Skelton will now be walked intentionally. Now the Barnstormers take their chances with Sienna, who blooped a single into right field back in the second inning. Galvez at second, Skelton at first with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. You still want to see the Barnstormers win. You still want to see them do well. But it is time for the Barnstormers to try and rest some bodies and set the rotation for the playoffs. It's completely out of Lancaster's hands right now. The pitch to Sienna, missing a little bit high. Ball 1-0. Galvez at second. Skelton aboard at first base with 2 outs. Lancaster down a run. 1 ball, no strikes. Albaladejo glancing around at the runners to Sienna. The breaking ball is just off the outside corner. Ball 2 and no strikes. Rains are still in central Jersey. I don't know if they're going to get that Southern Maryland Somerset game underway. And while it doesn't directly matter for either one of those ball clubs, it does matter that game is played for that race between Long Island and York. 2 balls, no strikes. Foul back, which is predicated on the race between Long Island and Somerset. It gets incredibly complicated. If Long Island wins 2 of the remaining 5 and Sugar Land wins 1 of the remaining 5, it's over. York's done. Here's the pitch to Sienna, swing and a miss. Now it is 2-2. Galvez at second and Skelton aboard at first with 2 away. Into the dirt. And 3-2 with Darren Ford waiting on deck. I did misspeak, by the way. York does still have that second game coming up tonight. So the Revs have 5 games remaining. And Sugar Land has 5 games remaining. Only one of the 10 needs to go the way the Barnstormers would need it to go. And then the Barnstormers are in. Payoff pitch, runners take off, 3-2, rifled foul into the third base seats. Sienna back to face a 3-2 from Albaladejo. Sienna was 1 for 4 last night. He had a double to right field in the 5th inning. So I am curious to see how this is going to play out if the Barnstormers do clinch tonight. Will we be on the bus when it happens, which I think is likely to be the case if it'll be predicated on one of these other games that has not started yet, and we're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Do we wait around here? Do we get on the bus? Do we celebrate back at Lancaster? Do we wait till tomorrow night? High fly ball, center field. This is carrying. Back on it goes Sanford. He'll retreat, square up, and make the catch. Albaladejo out of danger in the bottom half of the 4th. No runs on a hit with no errors and 2 men left on base. We're going to the 5th inning. Still 3-2 New Britain.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
I did misspeak a couple of times earlier. We're trying to work out these playoff scenarios on the fly. If Somerset loses tonight and then Long Island just needs to win one more, and that could be tonight to clinch either a wild card spot or the second half. They would have to win one or the other. They don't clinch either specifically. So it's all a mess. But Long Island would be in with a win tonight if Somerset gets that game going and loses. I said they would have to win earlier. They would have to lose. They also have to play. Here's Casey Hobson. He's got a single in his one plate appearance. Now looks at a ball outside. It is 1-0. 3-2 here. While there's really nothing to play for either one of these ball clubs now, except for stats, this has turned into a battle. 1 ball, 1 strike. There is the possibility that Ross Peoples has blacked out his dugout, except for himself and Jared Binner, from knowing the results of the other games. Popped up, shallow left field. Jogging in is Rosa. He'll be there. That is out number 1. Burke continuing to pitch a solid ball game. Steven Perez comes to the plate. He worked out a very nice walk in the top of the 3rd inning after falling behind 0-2. That the Southern Maryland Somerset game will not be made up, and that pretty much would be like a win for the Patriots, and hence for the York Revolution. Ball 1 is outside. It would force Long Island still to win 2. Swing and a miss by Perez, taking a healthy cut. It's a ball and a strike. Perez line drive right field, and pulling up on it is Walton. He'll play it on a bounce. Steven Perez has his 2nd knock of the series, the Barnstormers' 3rd single tonight. It brings on Noel. Rico reached on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning. On what would have been a base hit, he hit the same ball with the bases empty. He was also on the front end of a double steal and scored a run. What a year he has had. He's had a great season being Rico Noel. He's done a nice job at second base when he's been there. I think he improved over the course of the first half playing second base, and he's a marvelous outfielder. He shows bunt, takes a strike. Burke is ahead, 0-1. Well, Lancaster, in all likelihood, playing Tuesday the 18th, Wednesday the 19th. Make sure you've got your tickets, folks, and make sure your friends do too. Spread the word. Breaking ball is low. A ball and a strike to Noel. We're almost there. It is not absolutely a done deal. I talked to some fans over the weekend. They said they are not buying their tickets until we clinch. So we're gonna let you know. We're gonna be right on top of it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Perez leading off first to Noel. It finds the inside corner. 1-2. Darian Sanford waiting on deck. And I've said this before, I'll be the happiest for Ross and JB and the likes of Sanford and Robinson, Munson, John Anderson, De La Rosa, who went through last year as well. Looped into center field, a base hit. Pulling up at second is Perez. Noel on board. Sanford stepping in. Now, there are a lot of guys who have been with us this entire season, like Sanford. I think I brought his name up. He wasn't here the entire year last year. Robinson was. De La Rosa was. Munson, Anderson. Sanford left for a while. Galen left for a while. Noel left for a while. Hobson left for a while. Reed left for a while. Well, that's pretty much the group we had to deal with last year, too. Fly ball to left. Tracking it down is Rosa. That is the 2nd out in the inning, and now it's up to Bortnick, who has drilled 2 balls to center field tonight, the second of which was a sac fly for his 40th run batted in. 3-2 New Britain, top half of the 5th inning. Perez, the runner, at second. Noel aboard at first base. Barnstormers trying to piece together the tying run here in the 5th inning. Albladejo has not always been the best supported of the Barnstormers starting pitchers. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Bortnick gets a pitch inside, almost hit him. It would have been the 17th time this year to tie a franchise record. I don't think the Barnstormers are going to run any of their starters terribly long in this weekend series. Bluff to second base, Perez back in. One ball, no strikes to Bortnick. Burke ready to go. Breaking ball, stays inside, 2-0. Blake Galen, the DH, is on deck. The Barnstormers have not had an extra base hit since the first inning last night. Galen's homer was followed by a Trayvon Robinson double to left field. A lot of singles since then. Here's a 2-0. Bortnick stares at ball 3 below the knees. So 3-0. Bortnick may be taking here to bring Galen up. 3 balls, no strikes. Burke coming to the set, glancing back to Bortnick. He swings and fouls it off his foot. Tyler Bortnick with the green light, 3 balls and nothing. He saw a pitch he thought he liked. Now it's 3-1. Sanford with a big RBI base hit back in the 3rd inning. Bortnick drove in the 2nd run with a sac fly. Lancaster left Sanford at 3rd. Albladejo had to wiggle out of a 2-out jam in the bottom of the 4th inning to keep the Barnstormers within 1. Defense back, trying to get Tyler Bortnick here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Burke, who has walked just 1, peering in to get the sign from James Skelton. 3-1. The right-hander will bring it home, and Bortnick yanks it foul down the left field line, and that has been a large part of the story of 2018 for Tyler Bortnick, and that is when he is on a pitch, when he hits it hard, he's out ahead of it. A lot of would-be extra base hits have gone foul. 3-2, the runners get started. Perez off second, Noel off of first base. A lot of that is because the pitchers obviously have been working Tyler inside. 3-2. Here's the payoff, and that almost hit him again. It's ball 4, and Galen will bat with the bases loaded. Time is called. We're going to have a mound visit from Gaza. Bases are loaded, 2 down. Galen stepping in. Blake is 5 for 14 with the bases loaded on the season. Barnstormers batting in the top of the 5th. Big moment. Galen with a chance to put his ball club in the lead. Blake with 29 tying or go-ahead runs batted in on the season. He is tops on the ball club, leading Ryan Castile by 6. 29 is a healthy number. Galen is struck out looking and flied to left. Blake is playing in his 123rd game. He's been in every one. He hasn't started every one. He has been on the bench to begin 3 games, but he has gotten in there. Bases loaded with 2 outs. The pitch is a strike from Burke. It is 0-1. Ryan Castile waiting on deck. Lancaster down 1 here in the 5th inning. Burke has walked 2. He's allowed 4 hits. Galen bats 0-1. The right-hander comes back with a breaking ball, which is torched foul down the first base line. And Galen is trailing 0-2 here in the 5th inning. If the Barnstormers do not clinch tonight, they're set up to clinch tomorrow night on the off day. Next time Sugar Land wins, it's over. Next time York loses, it's over. One or the other. Breaking ball is inside and low. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Galen batting at 1 and 2, trying to drive in some runs here. Devin Burke ready to go. The right-hander into the wind. Here's the pitch. Galen with a sharp ground ball right at the shortstop. Sienna has to go to second base, and that ball is not in time. 1 run will score, and now we've got a log jam on the bases. It's the lead man, Noel, now in a rundown, and they'll tag out Rico for the final out of the inning. And everybody will dart back in, but it doesn't matter. So how do you call this? A run would have scored. Does it score? It does. Because everybody had reached the next bag. Galvez was late getting over to second base. And as a result, everybody moved up 1. And in the inning, it is a run on 2 hits with no errors and 2 runners left on base. And I guess Galen gets a fielder's choice there, but should also get an RBI. How else do you explain it? Well, we'll sort it all out, but as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, it is Lancaster 3 and New Britain 3.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids Base Run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
You can measure the sound of the Lexus LC500's naturally aspirated V8 engine and the quickness of its 10-speed transmission. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus high-performance line at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most exhilarating models.
Well, on the official log, it's a fielder's choice. No RBI. I was told the fielder's choice RBI, so we'll put RBI tentatively in the scorebook. In any event, it's 3-3, and Darren Ford leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. What a strange play to end the top half of the inning. A late throw to second on a force out with the bases loaded, and a run scores. Then initially, it was Steven Perez, or actually, it was Noel who came around second thinking he could advance. Perez scored the run. It was Bortnick actually sliding into second, and Noel eventually got tagged out between third and home. So it was Bortnick who tried to grab an extra base. That's the second time recently he has tried to do that. Ball 1, strike 1 on Darren Ford. Here's the pitch from Albaladejo, line to center field. Sanford is right there, 1 out. What a peculiar play to close out the top half of the fifth inning. And they're still trying to sort that out. As the Barnstormers had players in double rundowns for a while. They say the out went 6-4-1-4 on Noel. Up and away. Ball 1-0 to Angelo Sonko. Galen does get a run batted in. The 1-0 pitch grounded down the first base line and foul. Past the outstretched glove of Casey Hobson. Sonko batting at 1-1. So Perez scored on the play. Noel had advanced to third. He was eventually tagged out in the rundown, but he was forced off of third base by the charge of Bortnick. To Sonko, a ball and a strike. Albaladeo snaps a pitch to the outside corner. It is 1-2. Jonathan's allowed 6 hits and 3 runs. His walk was intentional, though he was behind Skelton 3-0, and the Barnstormers asked for it. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball puts away Angelo Sonko. Strikeout number 3 for Jonathan Albaladeo. He has 101 for the season. Nate Reed is the Barnstormers club leader at 102. And he'll get a start over the weekend, a playoff tune-up. And we'll see how far Nate is going to go. If I'm Ross, I want him games 1 and 5 because with the off day in the middle of the series, you can now go with your top starter twice. Ball is inside to Romero, 1-0. Well, maybe Reed for only 4 or 5 innings Friday night against the Road Warriors. 1-0 pitch. That is stung down the left field line, fair headed for the corner. Romero hitting the ball hard for the 3rd straight at bat, finally is rewarded. He has the 3rd double for his ball club in the game. Arriving at second base with 2 outs in the 5th inning for Jason Rogers. Rogers is 0 for 2. Go-ahead run arriving safely at second base with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. They have started the game now down in Texas. Southern Maryland and Somerset remain in the rain delay. Rogers digs in. Albaladeo looks back the second. And the pitch is a strike. 0-1. I'll tell you what, I'll give these two teams a lot of credit because New Britain is eliminated. The Bees rolled down the pike, a long bus ride tomorrow to Southern Maryland to conclude the regular season between two ball clubs that are not in the mix. 0-1, high fly ball, left center field. Sanford will track this down. We remain tied, and the Barnstormers by now likely to know that this game doesn't necessarily matter for them either, and they're fighting this one tooth and nail. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll go into the 6th inning. The Barnstormers and the New Britain Bees are tied at 3.
The area's most unique beer fest is coming to Clipper Magazine Stadium on Sunday, September 9th during the Barnstormers game against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That afternoon, samples from over 20 local breweries will be made available throughout the right field hospitality areas. Souvenir pint and sample glasses and a broken bat hat will go to everyone buying a ticket. VIP tickets are available for early entry and limited releases. For more information, go to www.lancasterbarnstormers.com.
So, John, what should the Steelers' focus be this season?
Steelers fast play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Steelers fast play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Steelers game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Ryan Castile leads off the sixth in a 3-3 ball game here at New Britain Stadium. Barnstormers trail the season series 9-8. New Britain had a very serious chance to get to the postseason for the first time in 3 years here. Breaking ball for a strike on Castile. It's 0-1. And they were definitely in the mix for a wild card, in the mix for the second half. And then they had some guys leave. Outside, 1-1. Brock Stassi, I think, was the key one. He had his contract purchased, and it left New Britain a bit thin on the left side of the plate. Line drive into center field, a base hit for Castile. He is off the schneid in this series. The Barnstormers pick up their fifth single against Devin Burke. Conrad Greger will come to the plate. Greger has popped out and struck out looking. I'm interested to see how the next couple of days play out here. And there's still that question of Sugarland or Somerset in the first round. For it to be Somerset, the Patriots have to pass the Ducks in the standings without York passing Long Island for the second wild card. And right now, the Ducks lead that race by a game. York has the tiebreaker. To Greger, a strike at the knees. It is 1-1. But remember, for Somerset to pass Long Island, the Patriots have to beat York. Complicating the picture, muddying the waters, so to speak. Ryan Castile, the runner at first base. Conrad Greger batting at a ball and a strike. Here's the pitch to him, and that's hit toward the alley, right center field and in. It's going to slow down on the wet outfield grass. Walton picks it up and fires it back in, but not before Castile reaches third, and Greger reaches second base with a double. Trayvon Robinson batting with runners at second and third and nobody out. Conrad Greger hit a drive toward right center field. It hit out in right center and just stopped dead in its tracks. It did not roll through to the wall. Walton raced over to try and cut it off in the gap and then had to double back and get to that ball dead in the wet grass. Here is Robinson, who was grounded out and lined to center. The infield playing in for the New Britain Bees to Trayvon. Big breaking ball high and outside. It is 1-0. Casey Hobson waiting on deck. Lancaster with the chance to take the lead for the first time in the game here in the sixth inning after falling behind 3-0 in the bottom half of the second. Castile at third, Greger at second, nobody out. 1 ball, no strikes to Trayvon. The delivery fouled right straight down at home plate. Ball 1, strike 1. They've gone to the bottom of the first at Sugarland, no score. The Barnstormers and the Ducks each with a chance to clinch a playoff spot tonight, but they can't do it both. Long Island can do it with a win if Somerset gets the game started and loses. And the Barnstormers go to the playoffs if the Ducks lose to Sugarland. So very much opposing interests for two teams not playing each other. 2 balls, 1 strike. The count to Trayvon Robinson. The weird part about all this is if Sugarland wins tonight, York's only path to the playoffs is by losing to Somerset. How odd is that? Here comes the 2-1. Robinson takes a second strike on the inside corner. He was leaping back out of the way. Burke gets the call. It's 2-2. Castile at third. Gregor, the runner, at second base. Conrad has had a base hit each of his first 2 starts, and I'm sure he's going to be in every game over the weekend. 2-2, and to Robinson, swung on and missed. Trayvon gone on strikes. That is a big first out for Devin Burke. Casey Hobson now will try to put the Barnstormers in the lead. Casey has singled and flied to left. 1 out of 2. Very effective series for Hobson. 4 out of 7 overall. And they're going to walk him intentionally. That makes sense. He's been swinging the bat pretty well. They're loaded now for Perez. Steven has walked and singled. Perez has been getting bases loaded chances. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI on a bases loaded walk. Perez the batter, Noel on deck. Castile at third, Gregor at second, Hobson now aboard at first base. 6th inning of play in a 3-3 battle. Burke is ready to go. His pitch to Perez outside. Ball 1-0. Steven Perez certainly has demonstrated an ability to draw the base on balls. He's playing in his 11th game. He has walked 7 times. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Perez, taken for a strike. It tickled the outside corner. We go to 1-1. Single by Castile into center, a double by Gregor to right center. An intentional walk to Hobson with 1 out in the inning. A ball and a strike on Perez. Next offering. The bat started, and they say he went around. It's 1-2. Burke trying to put away Perez. Lancaster trying some way to get Castile home. The infield is backed up into double play depth. 3 runners on for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Perez awaits the 1-2. Burke is ready to go. The pitch is beaten foul. Perez keeps it going. For Devin Burke. Pitch count approaching 90. It is 89. This will be the 90th. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Perez. The offering is wide of the plate. We go to 2-2. Barnstormers have had a slew of base runners here over the last few innings. 9 guys have reached, 3 have scored. 3 more are out there at the moment. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Perez. The motion and the pitch. Breaking ball gets him. He swings and misses. And Devin Burke is all but out of the inning. Rico Noel will try to keep it going for the Barnstormers. Noel has reached on a fielder's choice, and he has singled into center. 1 out of 2 tonight. 3 all here in the top of the 6th inning. Burke trying to give his team a lift by getting out of a bases loaded 1-out jam and a 2nd and 3rd nobody out jam initially. He has 2 strikeouts of switch hitters. The right-handed batting Noel steps in. Castile still looking for a way to get home. First pitch fastball is strike 1 to Rico. No balls, 1 strike the count. Burke suddenly back in charge. Runners lead from everywhere. 1 strike to Noel. Burke comes back. It's in on the hands and fouled away. We get to 0-2. One more, and Devin Burke will have gotten out of a very delicate situation in the top of the 6th inning. Two strikes to Noel. The motion and the pitch into the dirt. Skips away from Skelton briefly. Castile holding on at third base. Noel might have tried it. Sanford might have tried it, not Castile. It is 1-2. 7 hits for the Bees. The Barnstormers have 6. Gregor's double. The first Barnstormers extra base hit, going all the way back to the 1st inning last night. And an odd double that was. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Devin Burke ready to go. Noel takes a breaking ball, fouls it back. He'll get to see another. Rico, who for a while in the first half led the Atlantic League in batting and then cooled off, doing the job now, getting back above 300 and working to stay there. One ball, 2 strikes. Burke into the motion, full windup, and that is lobbed toward right center field. Coming on is Walton. He'll be there, and Devin Burke has done a magnificent job getting out of trouble in the 6th inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Barnstormers leave the bases loaded and will go to the bottom of the 6th in a 3-3 tie.
You can measure the exceptional torque of the Lexus LX and the capability of its full-time 4-wheel drive. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus line of SUVs at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most capable models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments in honor of the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Three all. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Jovan Rosa, Jamar Walton, and Jonathan Galvez coming to the plate. Sugarland has the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 1st inning. It's Dallas Beeler and Matt Larkins, the opposing starting pitchers in that contest. Albaladeo works to Rosa. First pitch is inside, crowding him. He checked on the swing and held. Ball 1-0 to Rosa, who's 0 for 2. Galvez has been the big problem for Albaladejo here tonight. 1 ball, no strikes. Albaladejo to the plate. That's fouled over the screen. It is 1-1 here. Ball 2, missing away. Rosa batting 2-1. New Britain could be fired up after getting out of that jam in the top of the inning. To Rosa, ball 3 is upstairs. Albaladejo falling behind in the count. His only walk is intentional, but now trailing Rosa at 3-1. Jonathan loads walks, so Rosa may see something to hit. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch, and hit it he does, skying it to left center field. Sprinting over is Sanford. He can set up underneath. Darian kept busy. His 4th put out of the last 5 outs. Albaladejo has gotten 1 away. Here's Walton, 1 out of 2. Walton singled to left and is popped to short. Albaladejo trying to put together another quality start for his Barnstormers ball club. To Walton, a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. The Barnstormers are 14-8 with Albaladejo on the hill. He has thrown 12 quality starts. Brooks Hall is second with 8. Joe Gardner and Nate Reed each with 7. Swing and a miss again. It's 0-2. And part of the reason that Reed only has 7 is because Ross has lifted him quite a bit with 5 innings. No balls, 2 strikes. Walton awaits. Albaladejo will bring home a breaking ball and miss. 80 pitches now for Jonathan. 95 for Devin Burke. Albaladejo wants a new baseball and asking, you shall receive. Jonathan Conrad chucking the other one back toward the dugout. Go through, I guess, about 6 dozen baseballs a game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Albaladejo to the plate. That is chopped toward first, but foul. And we will continue at 1-2. Right-hander winds, brings it home, fouling it to the screen. And it's still a ball and 2 strikes. In case you're tuning in now, the Barnstormers and New Britain are tied at 3, and the Barnstormers are in that weird limbo-like situation where they still haven't clinched a playoff spot, but winning tonight doesn't help. 1-2, ball 2 is low to Walton, 2-2. It's all based on what happens elsewhere. The Barnstormers have locked up the wild card spot, if one exists. Walton looks at strike 3 on the inside corner. Albaladejo with his 4th strikeout of the game, and Jamar Walton barks at Jonathan Conrad, the home plate umpire. We've seen a little bit of that both ways. Jonathan Galvez now coming to the plate. And in the battle of the Bluefish teammates, the 2 Jonathans, Galvez has won. He is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, although the second double was just weird. The first one was pounded off the wall and left. The second one was an infield pop-up that bounced away into shallow left field. Breaking ball is down low. 1-0 from Albaladejo. James Skelton waiting on deck. This part of the order has provided Albaladejo with all of his headaches tonight. 1 ball and nothing to Galvez. Albie comes back, and that's stung to third, handled by Gregor on a bounce. Conrad fires across the diamond, and Albaladeo puts together his second 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. Nothing doing for the Bees. And at the end of 6, it's all tied at 3.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
A brand new B into the ball game now for New Britain. Left-hander Evan DeLuca taking over as we go to the top of the 7th inning. DeLuca, southpaw from White House Station, New Jersey. 6'1", 210 pounds. He had been pitching for the New Jersey Jackals in the Can-Am League. They'll be facing the top of the order, Sanford, Bortnick, and Galen. 3-3, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. New Britain is stranded 4. The Barnstormers with 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors. And Lancaster has marooned 6. Quality start for Devin Burke tonight, but no decision. 6 hits and 3 runs. He walked 3. Now DeLuca to Sanford, and the first pitch is wrapped up the middle, base hit center field. Darian with his second knock of the game. The Barnstormers now with 7. A total of 5 strikeouts for the starter, Burke. Tyler Bortnick comes to the plate. He is 0 for 1 officially, has an RBI on a sac fly. DeLuca originally drafted by the Yankees back in 2009. Was in their system through 12. Never got above single A. And Rockies had him briefly in 14. With the Jackals, he was 4-0 with a 3.76 earned run average in 44 appearances. Throw to first base, and Sanford is back in. Darian already has successfully stolen his 78th. I'll tell you, he did not get a great start on that double steal. Noel was off 2 or 3 steps. Skelton made the smart decision to throw to Darian, but Sanford's speed simply outran the throw. And again, DeLuca checking the runner over at first base. Sanford, a couple in the game tonight. He's driven in 33 runs on the year, and he's kept his average in the 270s. Bortnick tries to drop a bunt down and fouls it back. It is 0-1. It's going to be interesting to see how the league votes when it comes to the year-end All-Star team, what they think of Sanford's kind of player. It's unique in baseball today, really. to have a Darian Sanford on your ball club. He's a great version of the Darian Sanford. He gets on base enough and then wreaks havoc once he's there. 0-1. Bortnick again squares. He drops the bunt down along the first base line. Up with it is DeLuca. He will make the toss onto first base. That will be a sacrifice with the out 1-3. Sanford motors ahead to second. Blake Galen will bat against DeLuca. 0-3 with an RBI for Galen. He hit that strange ground ball back in the fifth inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. It seemed like a routine end of the inning, but Vinny Sienna was looking for a force out at second. Galvez was so far away playing Galen to pull that he just didn't get there, and Bortnick beat him to the bag. Sienna, all the while, could have simply thrown across to first and ended the inning. Now, fielder's choice and an RBI, the only rational scoring call there, as bizarre as it all was. Now Galen trying to put the Barnstormers on top in the seventh. If he can't, Castile will take a shot. Here's a pitch to Blake, down and away. That's going to leak through Skelton and advanced to third by Sanford. He makes a wide turn and looked like he was going to have some trouble getting back in. No throw made. Should be a wild pitch. Charge to DeLuca. Sanford is 90 feet away. Galen at least looking for the sac fly. Infield will draw in for the New Britain Bees with the go-ahead run at third base and 1 out. Last inning, the Barnstormers had 2 batters up there under these circumstances, and they both struck out swinging. Galen trying to drive in Sanford. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Blake with a fly ball out the left. Rosa over on it. He's setting up. He'll make the catch. Sanford is going to tag. Sanford sprinting home. He'll easily beat the throw, and it's a sac fly for Galen. The Barnstormers take a 4-3 lead. Galen drives in his 86th run of the season, leading the league. Barnstormers have played this inning very well, getting the help on the wild pitch. Now Ryan Castile will bat with 2 outs and the bases empty. Castile 1 out of 3. Lancaster ahead by 1. Albaladejo should have life left in the arm, but I don't know if Ross necessarily wants to play it that way. Or does he try to get his bullpen in there with the off day tomorrow? Castile fouls this back. He is down a strike at 0-1. Barnstormers swinging early against Evan DeLuca. Albaladejo right now would be in line for his 9th win. The Barnstormers do not need to win the game, but they would like to. Here's the motion, the 0-1, high and outside. Castile bats at a ball and a strike here. No matter what the result of the Long Island Sugarland game tonight, the Barnstormers actually get a hair closer to a postseason matchup with the Skeeters. Fouled at the plate, 1-2. If Sugarland wins the game, then the Barnstormers are in, but it's likelier that they'll play Somerset by an increment. And if Long Island wins, the Barnstormers still wouldn't be in, but it becomes more likely that Long Island would match up against Somerset and the Barnstormers would play Sugarland. So either way, you get closer. I'd rather have the playoff spot in hand first. 1-2. Fastball is strike 3 called. Castile goes down looking. But in the inning, the Barnstormers grab the lead with 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We're at the stretch. The Barnstormers have gone ahead. Lancaster 4 and New Britain 3.
You can measure the power of the Lexus LS500's twin-turbocharged engine, the responsiveness of its adaptive variable suspension, and the clarity of its available 23-speaker audio system. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling only a Lexus can bring at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event, with exceptional offers on our most luxurious models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
So, John, what should the Eagles' focus be this season?
Eagles fast play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Eagles fast play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Eagles game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Well, we have our answer. The big guy is on his way back out to the mound. 4-3. Barnstormers leading the New Britain Bees, and Jonathan Albaladeo still has the baseball in hand. He has allowed 3 base runners over the last 4 innings. One of those was an intentional walk, one a quirky double, and the other one a resounding double. And he is eligible for the win. He's up 4-3. We'll try to hold that lead through this 7th inning. Skelton, Sienna, and Ford are the scheduled batters. In the other games, they are not started at Somerset. That delay is now approaching an hour and 3/4. Long Island and Sugar Land have gone to the bottom half of the second, scoreless. And in the big news, the Road Warriors defeated York 6-1 in the first game of a doubleheader behind Alberto Rodriguez. And that has clinched the wild card spot for the Barnstormers, if that wild card spot exists. Meanwhile, in the top half of the second inning in game 2, the Road Warriors and York are scoreless. James Skelton steps in. He's singled home 2 runs and been walked intentionally, facing Albaladeo for the 3rd time. Also have a pretty full slate of Major League Baseball. Braves beat the Giants earlier today, 2-1. And the Dodgers pounded the Reds, 8-1. Here's the pitch to Skelton. Dribbled up the first baseline, foul. It is 0-1 with Vinny Sienna waiting on deck. Barnstormers in the lead by 1 here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Astros beat Detroit today, 5-4 behind Garrett Cole. The Rays one-hit the Indians 3-1. How about Blake Snell? I think he's now the front runner for the Cy Young Award in the AL. 19-5 and an ERA barely over 2. Everybody all along was talking about the Red Sox Chris Sale, and for very good reason. But Snell may have jumped ahead. 1 ball, 1 strike to Skelton. And James will back away as Albaladeo and Castile have a little bit of trouble getting together. That's right there, a second strike, 1-2. Sale still leads by a hair, 1/10 of a run in earned run average. Snell now leads in wins, and he's second in ERA. And Sale, of course, has been out for a bit. Skelton with a fly ball down the left field line. Racing into the corner is Noel, and that is out of bounds. Skelton will step back in, add a ball and 2 strikes. Now, it's one thing. The Red Sox might not actually win this year. Mookie Betts and J.D. Martinez, one or the other, should be the MVP. And the Red Sox trying to win their 100th game. Pirates have beaten the Cards 4-3. 5-3 Padres over the Mariners at the end of 6. The Nats are up 4-1 at the Phillies in the 6th inning. Bryce Harper with his 33rd, and Ryan Zimmerman, who is really the Washington National, has his 13th. Bouncer foul. Crawford is 3rd for the Phillies. A's lead the Orioles 10-0, top half of the 5th, simply adding insult to injury. Speaking of the Red Sox, they are up 1-0 through 5.5 innings at home against Toronto in search of that 100th win. Marlins and the Mets held up by rain trying to play 2. Skelton takes the 1-2, swings and just nicks it foul at the plate. He's still battling Albaladejo. Brewers 1-0 over the Cubs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The Yankees and the Twins are scoreless in the 2nd. Chicago White Sox and Kansas City, no score in the 3rd. Diamondbacks did not score in the 1st inning at Colorado, and the one game still to start, Texas at Anaheim. 4-3 Barnstormers here. The leadoff batter, James Skelton, up in the bottom of the 7th inning. Albaladejo's 1-2, swing and a miss. Jonathan chalks up strikeout number 5, and Vinny Sienna, the shortstop, will come to the plate. It was a lengthy fight for Skelton. Albie comes out on top. Sienna to the plate. 1 out of 3 with a run batted in. Jonathan Albaladejo may not have Nate Reed's numbers, but I will say this. The Barnstormers would not be nearly as good without the veteran presence and his ability to eat up some innings. He has been the stabilizer to the starting rotation. To Sienna, 0-1. Fastball is outside. Not by much. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. One person who will be very glad if York does not make the postseason will be Albaladejo. He had his 2 worst starts of the year and arguably of his career at Peoples Bank Park this year. Those 2 starts there were pretty doggone nasty. And without them, Albaladejo's ERA would be pretty doggone decent instead of being nearly 4.5. 17 earned runs in 7 innings. He's inside to Sienna, and it's now 3-1. His ERA would be around 3.8 without those 2 starts. 3 balls, 1 strike. The wind and a Sienna. It is ball 4 outside. Albie gives up his first unintentional walk of the game. The tying run heads to first. Darren Ford will come to the plate. Ford is 1 out of 3. No score in either one of those other games. The Ducks and the Skeeters are in the 3rd. The Road Warriors and the Revs are in the 2nd. Lancaster 4, New Britain 3 with 1 out, 1 on. Albaladejo will work to Ford. Infielders are at double play depth. To the set. And here's the pitch to Ford. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. It gets away from Castile, but Sienna goes nowhere. 1 strike to the right-handed batting center fielder. Wind is calm tonight, and the anticipated rains have not gotten here. Parting ways with New Britain long enough for us to get an official game in tonight. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ford lets it go. It's in the dirt, smothered by Castile. Ball 1, strike 1. There were times it did not look like we were going to play tonight. But the rains let up at about 5 o'clock. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ford. Albaladeo works out of the stretch. The breaking ball is grounded foul past Miguel Gomez in the coach's box. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Bullpen certainly should be available. It hasn't been used a whole lot. Munson and Brazaban each threw an inning last night. Lakin, Marksbury, and Corella an inning apiece on Monday. Sunday was off, tomorrow's off, but Ross is sticking with Albaladeo. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander delivers, swung on and missed. Ford is gone, and Albie strikes out his 6th. That was on a fastball. Angelo Sonko to the plate. He is 0 for 3, and Ross is going to come to the mound now. Tying run is on. He may be looking to go to a left-on-left matchup, and if he's going to do that, it's probably Marksbury. Could be Westfall. It's going to be a discussion first, and that's going to be all for Jonathan Albaladeo. The bullpen will try to save his lead. Albie departs 102 pitches into the night, and with the pitching change in the works, we're going to take a break and pause for these messages.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep. You know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine?
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Left-handed swinging Angelo Sonko, who had grounded into a double play and struck out twice against Jonathan Albaladeo, now faces Matt Marksbury with Vinny Sienna, the tying run at first base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. A 4-3 Lancaster Barnstormers lead. The Barnstormers recovering from an early 3-0 deficit. And they've had to scratch and claw their way back into this game. No real big blows. Marksbury's first pitch finds the outside corner for strike 1. Matt appearing in his 44th game, 2-2, with a 1.95 ERA. 29 hits, 8 earned runs in 37 innings of work. No balls and a strike to Sonko. Swing and a miss. Marksbury has him 0-2. Sonko, a guy who's begun to really bounce around the league, going from Long Island to Southern Maryland and now up here to New Britain. 2 strikes to him. Sienna leads off first. He takes off. Swing and a miss. No, it doesn't matter. A 3-pitch strikeout for Matt Marksbury, and Albaladeo officially chalks up his 13th quality start of the year. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We are through 7 tonight. The Barnstormers hold a 4-3 lead.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody. Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Conrad Greger steps in to lead off the eighth for the Barnstormers. He is 1 out of 3 with Lancaster's only extra base hit, a double to right center field in the 6th inning. Facing left-hander Evan DeLuca, the kick, and a wide-reaching breaking ball doesn't quite get back to the inside corner. It may have ended up low as well. Ball 1-0. Robinson and Hobson will follow. Trayvon to switch around and bat right-handed. 4-3 Barnstormers here in the 8th inning. Inside, and that hit something and deflected. I think it's just ball 2. It might have glanced off the umpire, and nobody's really signaling. 2 balls and no strikes. There we go. It was a fastball in on Greger, and it clearly hit something. I had to wait to see exactly what. It either came off of Conrad or Skelton. It's 2 balls and nothing to the leadoff batter here in the 8th inning. No real developments in those other games. They remain scoreless, either a Sugarland win or a York loss. Puts the Barnstormers in the playoffs. Fouled away. Greger batting 2-1. But the Barnstormers will probably be arriving back at home at the wee hours of the morning, like 3:30, 4 o'clock. It's all just surreal, awkward. 2-1 lined into left field, a base hit. Greger is on to start the 8th inning. Ross Peoples had heard that Conrad Greger knew how to handle a bat. And a guy who had put up great numbers at single A and at double A kind of never quite got the hang of it. Here's Robinson, Trayvon batting right-handed for the first time tonight. He's 0 for 3. But Ross had heard great things about Conrad and wanted to bring him in here for the playoff run. Again, if Paredes and Schumann come back, obviously they got to be part of things, but Ross is going to have some hard decisions. DeLuca's pitch getting away from Skelton, and Greger will move to second base on the misfire. Well, try and get a wild pitch pass ball decision there, and I am not really sure which way that should go. Wild pitch is charged. That is the second for DeLuca, and the first led to a run last inning. Robinson looking Perhaps to get Gregor all the way around himself. That would be the ultimate goal. But at least move him to third base. 1-0 from DeLuca. Bounced back to the hill off a shattered bat. DeLuca will lob a throw to first offline, but where Sanko can reach it and retreat to the bag. Gregor couldn't move, and it's 1 out for Hobson. It's not been a very good night for Trayvon Robinson in the midst of what has been a great stretch drive for the Barnstormers outfielder. He had been hitting .359 for his last 92 at-bats coming in here. At 0 for 4 in this game, and he missed out on some RBI chances his last 2 trips. Hobson stands in. Casey 1 out of 2. Gregor leading off second base with 1 out in the inning. To Hobson, fouled back over the screen and just about in the press box. I can't get a foul ball in the booth, but the main press box can, because my window is closed. I'd have to react in a hurry, open it up, make the catch. It would all be sensational. It'd be like the greatest play ever for me to catch a foul ball in here. But I'm in the back row. To Hobson, 0-1. Big breaking ball has him chasing. It is 0-2. Steven Perez, the shortstop, due next. 1 out, runner at second base for the Barnstormers here in the 8th inning. Albladeo gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, and 6 2/3 with 2 walks, and he struck out 6. 0-2 to Hobson. A look back, the pitch, and again, Casey swings and misses against the lefty, so that is out number 2, and the second strikeout for DeLuca. This inning is up to Steven Perez, 1 out of 2 with a run scored. York has taken a 3-0 lead over the Road Warriors in the bottom of the second inning. Long Island and Sugar Land scoreless in the top of the 4th. To Perez, it misses barely. Ball 1-0. Noel on deck. Lancaster has 8 hits, just 1 for extra bases here in this series finale. The ball club pulled off a double steal in the 3rd inning. Noel with his 51st, Sanford is 78th. In on the hands, popped up foul, carrying to the seats on the first base side. Perez at a ball and a strike. And Southern Maryland and Somerset are again delayed by rain. They got started. 2 runs in the first inning for the Blue Crabs. And by the time they got to the bottom half of the first inning, it rained again. Perez batting here at a ball and a strike. Gregor leads off second. The delivery, line down the left field line. Racing over is Rosa. He won't get there. And again, the ball plants. Rosa slips and goes down. And Perez trips and falls around first base. Steven Perez with an RBI single. The Barnstormers go ahead 5-3. And we are getting an idea of how wet that outfield is. I don't know what happened to Perez. The infield looks fine. But going after that, Jovan Rosa racing over, hit the skids, and ended up wiping out. We look back expecting Perez to be racing for second, and no, he's down in a heap around first base. Steven Perez driving in a run. That's going to be it for Evan DeLuca. He has given up a couple of runs in his inning and 2/3. And now with the change to the mound, we'll pause for these messages.
Hi, Barnstormers fans. Andrew Mossbrooks here again with another edition of your Atlantic League Look-In, and the Lancaster Barnstormers are the Community Cup champions of 2018. The War of the Roses, annually held between the Barnstormers and fellow Keystone State rival York Revolution, came to a conclusion recently with the Barnstormers traveling to Peoples Bank Park in York. They had a 4-game series, needing to win 2 to take the cup. That's what they were able to do. They got their second win of the series, clinching the hardware on the final game of the season between the Barnstormers and Revolution. It was a 6-4 win for Lancaster, and the War of the Roses comes to an end. The Barnstormers took 10 of 18 contests from the Revs this season, and with that, the War of the Roses is over. The petals that were once white inside the trophy are going to be changed to beautiful, lush red. That's it for this edition of the Atlantic League Look-In. I'm Andrew Mossbrooks. Now back to Dave Collins with more play-by-play baseball.
And by winning the War of the Roses, the Barnstormers ultimately have themselves in this position. The play of the year for the Barnstormers, some folks might be able to argue this, but I don't think so. The moment of the season, the play of the year for the Barnstormers was Vladimir Frias' diving stop up the middle against Telvin Nash to start the game and War of the Roses ending double play in that final game, holding on for Matt Reynolds 6-4. That is the play of the year for the Lancaster Barnstormers. Without that stop, without that sensational major league caliber double play, the Barnstormers are not yet in this position. Rico Noel will be facing Evan Ramirez here. Steven Perez has just made it 5-3 with an RBI single. False start for Perez, and Ramirez misses low on Rico, 1-0. Noel is 1 out of 3 in the ball game tonight. Lancaster ahead by 2 here in the 8th inning with 2 outs and 1 on. Good to see Perez with a pair of base hits in this game. He's owed, and they've both been clean hits, nothing cheap. Noel swings away, bounces this on the right side. Galvez goes for it. Nice play by the second baseman to his glove side, and he is able to throw out Rico Noel. The Barnstormers kept the 1 run in the inning on 2 hits with no errors. A man is left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is now the Lancaster Barnstormers 5 and the New Britain Bees 3.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
You can measure the sound of the Lexus LC500's naturally aspirated V8 engine and the quickness of its 10-speed transmission. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus high-performance line at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most exhilarating models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Davidson Romero steps in to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Matt Marksberry remains on the hill. Romero's had himself a heck of a night at the plate. He has hit the ball hard all 3 times up, lining out twice and then doubling to left. Marksberry delivers a strike. It's 0-1. By the way, it is showering here in New Britain, and it looks like it's coming down at a fairly decent pace right now. I don't know if we're going to play much beyond where we are right now. Fouled back by Romero. Marksberry has him at 0-2. 6 outs left to get for the Barnstormers, and they can win the rubber game of this series and pick up their 71st victory of the year. Long Island and Sugar Land have gone to a rain delay at Constellation Field. 0-2, line toward right center field, and Sanford will have to play it on a bounce. Romero continues his torrid pace, and he's aboard with 1 out in the 8th inning. Marksberry, I thought, made a good pitch there, and Romero still handled it. Jason Rogers, the designated hitter, is due as the possible tying run. Rogers is 0 for 3. My guess, with the way this weather looks right now, is that this inning is likely to be it. Ross Peoples is going to come out and pay a mound visit to Marksberry. Rogers and Rosa, the scheduled hitters, the tying run coming to the plate with some power guys stepping in. They have the Southern Maryland Somerset game still listed as being delayed. But they seem to be playing. The game is advancing. Here's the pitch. Fly ball left field. Angling over for it is Noel. He will make the catch for out number 1. Rogers retired as Marksberry is left in the game. Jovan Rosa stepping in. He is 0 for 3. Jamar Walton is the on-deck batter. Because the box score keeps changing from Somerset, and it's now 2-2 in the bottom of the first inning. They just forgot to take the delay off of it because it was on for so long. Partial swing, and he went too far. Rosa down a strike against Marksberry. Lancaster 5, New Britain 3, playing in what isn't quite a downpour, but it's definitely at least a moderate shower here. On the outside corner, and it is 0-2 to Jovan Rosa. Final night of baseball in New Britain for 2018. They go to Southern Maryland to wrap up the series in the season. 0-2, high fly ball again, this one in the infield. Perez, the shortstop, will call for it. That's the second out. And we'll be up to Jamar Walton to manage Matt Marksberry in this 8th inning. Top of the order, Sanford, Bortnick, and Galen scheduled in the Lancaster 9th. I guess the thinking is that we've come this far, we might as well play it. Popped up foul. 1 strike on Walton. It would only be fitting for the Barnstormers to be involved in yet another rain-shortened game. We've already been delayed, albeit for a very short time, at the start of the game, just 5-7 minutes or so. Swing and a miss by Walton. Marksberry has him at 0-2. 2 outs. Romero still at first base. He carries the 1 run. It's actually a Walton at the plate with the tying run. 9 hits for the Barnstormers, 8 for the Bees. Playing here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Marksberry has Walton 0-2. Matt rears back, fires. He got him. A swing and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout again against a left-handed batter. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. 9th inning of baseball is coming up here at New Britain Stadium. The Barnstormers own a 5-3 lead.
The area's most unique beer fest is coming to Clipper Magazine Stadium on Sunday, September 9th during the Barnstormers game against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That afternoon, samples from over 20 local breweries will be made available throughout the right field hospitality areas. Souvenir pint and sample glasses and a broken bat hat will go to everyone buying a ticket. VIP tickets are available for early entry and limited releases. For more information, go to www.lancasterbarnstormers.com.
So, John, what should the Steelers' focus be this season?
Steelers fast play for sure.
As opposed to what?
I'm talking Steelers fast play tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Playing's faster than our wide receiver running a slant.
Faster than our defense blitzing the QB?
Oh, yeah. The game's got progressive top prizes, plus second chance drawings for Steelers game tickets, meet and greets, autographed merchandise, and more.
Wow. I'm going to get mine fast.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
We're pushing on through in the rain here at New Britain Stadium. The Barnstormers with the 5-3 lead. Darian Sanford, Tyler Bortnick, and Blake Galen scheduled to face Elvin Ramirez. Sanford is 2 for 4. He has a run scored, a run batted in, and a stolen base. And he's been kept fairly busy in the outfield as well. Right-hander Ramirez into the motion. Sanford swings and misses. Down a strike. It is 0-1. Darian with 2 singles up the middle. One from the left side, one from the right side. 0-1 to him here, facing Ramirez. The next offering is up for a ball and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Ramirez from Fort Pierce, Florida, 6'3", 208, 30 years of age. He has also been at Bridgeport. Sanford bats at 1-1. The corners are in. The pitch to Darian. Down and in for ball 2. It is 2 balls and a strike. 46 game for Ramirez. He's 1-3 with a 3.72 earned run average. Certainly respectable numbers. Lancaster leading by 2. Galvez, Skelton, and Sienna are scheduled in the bottom of the 9th inning. Probably we'll see Brazoban. Foul ball back, and it's 2-2. And then the Barnstormers in a situation where they have to wait. And I imagine that Lancaster is going to get on the bus and start to head for home. The Sanford 2-2 offering, ground ball right side, taken by Sonko. And he'll stride to the bag, outrunning Sanford there. 1 out. Tyler Bortnick will come to the plate. Bortnick just 1 official at bat tonight. He is 0 for 1. Has a sacrifice bunt, a sacrifice fly, and a walk. Sacrifice bunt assisted in the Barnstormers' go-ahead run back in the 7th inning. Ramirez is ready. Breaking ball is outside to Bortnick, 1-0. By the way, for me personally, this is the second time in my career I have sat in this ballpark waiting for a result from another game to know whether or not my team's going to the playoffs or not. It's deja vu from 21 seasons back when the Bowie Bay Sox had to sit and wait at New Britain Stadium. But the Barnstormers know they're going home. We did not. We were either going to Reading for a play-in game or back to Bowie, and 2 divergent paths to those cities. Strike to Bortnick. It is 2-1. Blake Galen waiting on deck here in the 9th inning. And I don't think this rain is necessarily expected to last terribly long here, but it's coming down a bit. 2 balls, 1 strike. The wind and a Bortnick. He looks at a second strike as that reaches the inside corner. 2-2. Lancaster trying to wrap up the road with a win here in 2018. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bortnick. Ball 3 runs outside, filling the count. Lancaster 26 and 25 away from Lancaster this year. So they need to hold on to this one to finish over 500 on the road. 3-2 to Bortnick. Ground ball sharply hit and again foul down the third baseline. Still 3-2. Barnstormers were down 3-0 early in this game. They scored 2 in the third, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the seventh, and 1 in the eighth. Jonathan Albaladejo again shutting down the opposition once he got to the middle innings. Payoff pitch. Bortnick gets yet another walk. The 4th ball low. Galen will step in with 1 out and 1 on. Blake is 0 for 3 tonight with 2 runs batted in. Ryan Castile in the on-deck circle. He's not had much of a series here. The Barnstormers just didn't hit in game 2 last night. Otherwise, 14 runs and 22 hits. They've swung the bats reasonably well. And it's been good to see Gregor and Perez with the base hits. They've really keyed the offense in many ways tonight. To Galen, high and outside. Ball 1 from Ramirez. Perez is 2 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in. Gregor 2 for 4 with a run scored. Sanford has been the other key with a couple of base hits. 1 ball, no strikes to Galen. Right-hander Ramirez sets, brings it home. Fastball is up and away again, 2-0. Lancaster 5, New Britain 3 in the 9th inning. Our ball game tonight has reached about 2 hours, 40 minutes or so in length. The first inning and a half was played on 21 pitches. Here's a 2-0 to Galen. He goes for it, grounds that toward the middle. This could be 2. Instead, the shortstop cutting across, Sienna didn't have a feed to second. He fires to first and still gets Galen. Sienna had to reach wide to the other side of the second base bag to get the ground ball, and that cost him an opportunity to get Bortnick at second base. Castile with a chance now. Ryan's 1 out of 4. He singled into center field back in the first inning. Galvez, Skelton, and Sienna standing between the Barnstormers in their 71st win of the year. Bortnick, the runner at second with 2 outs. Here's a pitch to Ryan. Breaking ball missing. It is 1-0. Conrad Gregor waiting on deck. One ball, no strikes on Castile. Foul back against Ramirez. We get to 1-1. York is now up 4-0 in the bottom of the third in game 2. And the Revs are just trying to stay alive. They have to play Somerset over the weekend. Fastball missing low, 2 balls and a strike. But if Sugarland beats Long Island tonight, or if they finish tonight, however it goes the next couple of nights, York might be better off losing to the Patriots. It's all a mess. It'll clear up once we get some additional games in. Here's a 2-1. Castile looks at a breaking ball. It snaps back to the inside corner. A called second strike. It is 2-2. They're in the bottom of the second, Now at TD Bank Park, Southern Maryland and Somerset tied at 2. It'll help Long Island greatly and also hurt York at the same time if Southern Maryland wins that game. 2-2 to Castile. He swings and misses and looked like he had something to say for the plate umpire, Jonathan Conrad. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We'll go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Barnstormers are leading 5-3.
You can measure the exceptional torque of the Lexus LX and the capability of its full-time four-wheel drive. But the only way to truly understand it is to experience it. Discover the feeling of the Lexus line of SUVs at the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with exceptional offers on our most capable models, now until September 4th. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg. Click the banner to discover more.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments and honor the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
We also now know that for the 7th time in the last 8 years, the Barnstormers will finish with one of the 4 best records in the Atlantic League during the season. That, of course, was the beginning of the Butch Hobson era back in 2011 and his disciple Ross Peoples taking the helm last year. 7 out of 8 years, one of the 4 best records in the league, 13 out of 16 halves, finishing over 500. And that is a fine track record. It has led to this point to 4 playoff berths in those 8 years and 1 championship, 2 trips to the finals. Oscar Brazaban takes over in the bottom of the 9th. Again, it'll be nice if the Barnstormers come out of here with a win, but it has absolutely no bearing on the Barnstormers making the playoffs or not, nor will any of the 3 games against the Road Warriors over the weekend. It's all up to what happens in the race between Sugar Land and York, and it's almost over. Sugar Land with a magic number of 1 to lock up the second half, and it's only 1 because by the league rules, York automatically has the tiebreaker because Sugar Land won the first half. A ball is outside and low to Galvez, 1-0 from Oscar Brazaban, who's had 1 bad outing in the closing role. Other than that, he's been marvelous. To Galvez, here's the 1-0. Check swing, and that gets all the way to the backstop on a foul tip. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brazaban overall, 2-4, 3 saves, and a 2.10 earned run average. Galvez with 2 doubles tonight in 3 at-bats against the starter, Jonathan Albaladejo. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Brazaban is ahead at 1-2. 5-3 Barnstormers trying to close it out in yet more rain. There has been that suggestion. The Barnstormers should just add an umbrella to the logo. 1-2, swing and a miss. Bottom fell out of it. Galvez is gone on strikes. I believe that was Brazaban's changeup. He has 3 very good pitches. It's just a question of confidence for Brazoban and not get jumpy if something starts to go wrong. James Skelton, the batter, 1 out of 2 with 2 runs batted in and a run scored for Skelton. He had the big hit in the 3-run New Britain second inning. Outside of that inning, 4 hits and no runs. First pitch, fastball there for a strike. It is 0-1. If Brazoban really gets settled into the closing role, and again, he's had some really good outings out there, just that one game against, of course, Somerset. 0-1, swing and a miss. Skelton's down 0-2. Then, man, the Barnstormers really have something that if I'm outside organizations, Major League Baseball clubs, I am looking at Brazoban. I can't see how they can pass up that arm. 0-2, and Skelton will pop this up the shallow left field. Gregor going back, Perez going back. They're called off by Noel. Rico with the catch. Vinny Sienna will bat against Brazoban with 2 outs and nobody on. Wasker 1 out from his 4th save. Well, the Barnstormers on the verge of winning number 71. It's really too bad that this wouldn't wrap up the playoff spot instead of being in this strange situation. 2 outs and a Sienna swing and a miss. Brazoban gets ahead 0-1. Last night, Wasker had a 6-run lead. He got the side in order in the 7th inning, including Sienna on a strikeout. The 0-1 pitch is low. Ball 1, strike 1. Darren Ford, the center fielder, waits on deck. Playing in the rain. If it's tied at the end of 9, these 2 ball clubs who have travel ahead of them, they're going to drop back 15 and punt. 1 ball, 1 strike on Sienna. Brazoban to the plate, popped up foul. Wasker has him at 1-2. The Barnstormers up 5-3 over the New Britain Bees. A win would give the Barnstormers a split in the season series and an over 500 record on the road. Down to a strike. Sienna has been aboard twice. He's batting 1-2 against Brazoban. The pitch is low, and the game isn't over yet. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sienna. Ford on deck. Has some power you have to respect. Somerset, by the way, is now leading 5-2 in the 2nd inning. Ball 3 is low. Now, Brazoban now on the verge of bringing the tying run to the plate. He has missed badly with his last 2 pitches. So what you want to do here is throw it pretty much down the middle. There's no difference between a walk and a home run. 3-2, Brazoban is ready. The payoff is low. He doesn't do it. And Ford will step in with a chance to tie the ball game. Darren Ford is 1 out of 4 tonight. He singled to lead things off against Albaladejo. A 2-out walk here in the bottom of the 9th inning keeps us going. They're still in the delay at Constellation Field. And there is a tropical storm, possibly. It's not quite to that stage yet. It's just, as they like to call it in meteorological terms, an invest. But there is tropical moisture headed to Sugarland for the weekend. That could complicate matters even further. First pitch strike to Ford. It is 0-1, but now Brazoban has to be careful. Angelo Sonko is the on-deck batter. Well, New Britain's got a shot here. Sienna at first base with 2 outs, and Wasker had him at 1-2. To Ford, a swing and a miss. And again, Brazoban has New Britain down to 1 last strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Darren Ford. Brazaban is ready. Here's the pitch. Did he go for it? The Barnstormers ask for help, and they get turned down. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. There was about a 2-degree angle left on that bat between where we are right now and the end of the game. Ford batting at 1 and 2. Sienna leads off first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss this time, and Brazaban nails it down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man is left. We'll have the wrap-up show coming your way next. The Barnstormers take care of business. They don't have to. The Barnstormers now have to sit and wait. One Sugarland win or one York loss, and the Barnstormers head to the playoffs for the first time since 2018. We'll have the wrap-up show coming your way next. The Barnstormers have defeated the New Britain Bees in the road finale this season, 5-3.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
The Lancaster Barnstormers close in on a playoff spot here in the Atlantic League for 2018. And tonight's victory over the New Britain Bees really didn't even play a role in it, as the York Revolution had already dropped the 6-1 decision in the opener to the Road Warriors. So that wraps up the wild card for the Barnstormers. And again, people ask, what about the Long Island Ducks? Well, if the Ducks lose out to Somerset, it will open up a second wild card anyway, and the Barnstormers are going to be there anyhow, so it doesn't make one bit of a difference. The Barnstormers are in the wild card, but there still has to be a wild card, and we wait. This is the clinching that will not happen, and we have to wait as Sugarland and Long Island are delayed by rain in the top half of the 4th inning at Constellation Field. Tonight, the Barnstormers win it. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 8 runners left on base. New Britain, 3 runs on 8 hits with no errors, 7 left. The win goes to Jonathan Albaladejo. He is 9-7. The newcomer, Evan DeLuca, taking the loss. He is 0-1. Huáscar Brazaban with his 4th save of the season. No home runs in the ball game tonight. It took 2 hours, 51 minutes in front of 1,678 here at New Britain Stadium. The Barnstormers with the 5-3 win. And what was nice about this win tonight, even though the game really didn't mean all that much, is that the Barnstormers played like it did, and they played that type of grind out, no mistakes game that you may need to win in the playoffs. And the Barnstormers with the 2-run victory here tonight over the New Britain Bees. New Britain struck for 3 runs against Albaladeo in the second inning, all with 2 outs. Jamar Walton grounded a single into left. Jonathan Galvez thundered a double off the left field wall. James Skelton dropped the single into right to drive in 2, and Vinny Sienna knocked in another with a pop fly that dropped out into right field. New Britain was up 3-0. The Barnstormers hadn't been heard from in the first 2 innings. They were 6 up, 6 down on only 16 pitches against Devin Burke. But Casey Hobson got it going for the Barnstormers in the third with a leadoff single. He advanced to second on a walk to Steven Perez. Rico Noel was robbed of a base hit by Sienna, who got a force out at second. Runners were at first and third with 1 out. Rico Noel moving ahead as Darian Sanford singled into center field, scoring Hobson with the run. That made it 3-1. Hobson and Noel pulled off a double steal. No shock there. And Noel was able to score from third on a Tyler Bortnick sacrifice fly. It was 3-2. Jonathan Albaladeo had to get out of 2-out threats in both the fourth and the fifth innings on doubles, but those were the biggest threats the rest of the night faced by the Barnstormers pitching staff. Lancaster would tie the game in an odd manner in the fifth inning. With the bases loaded and 2 outs, Blake Galen hit what appeared to be an inning-ending ground ball to Vinny Sienna. But Jonathan Galvez had a long way to go to get to second base. Sienna developed tunnel vision. He was looking for the out at second. If he threw across the diamond, the inning is over, but he thought he had to play at second. By the time Galvez got there, it was too late, and the Barnstormers tied the game at 3. And then Bortnick thought he could go, and he got in a rundown and eventually forced Noel off third. Rico got caught in a rundown that end of the inning. The Barnstormers would leave the bases loaded in the 6th as well, but they broke the tie in the 7th. Sanford led off with a single, moved up on a sacrifice by Bortnick. He took third on a wild pitch from Evan DeLuca and scored when Blake Galen skied to the left field corner. Darian coming across easily for a 4-3 lead, and then a single by Conrad Greger, a wild pitch, and a base hit by Steven Perez, producing the insurance run in the 8th inning tonight. The Barnstormers, outside of that second inning, pitched very well. Albaladeo goes 6 2/3. Matt Marksberry holds the lead through the end of the 8th, and then Oscar Brazoban walks 1, strikes out 2 in a hitless 9th inning for his 4th save of the season. Elsewhere in the Atlantic League, the Road Warriors defeated the York Revolution 6-1. And while that doesn't seal the Barnstormers into the playoffs quite yet, it does put the Barnstormers right on the edge. The only way for York to get that playoff spot now and not the Barnstormers would be for the Revs to win out, and that is 5 games, and for Sugarland to lose out, and that is 5 games. York, by league rule, automatically has the tiebreaker in the second half. If that rule were not there, the Barnstormers would be in the postseason. We're forced to wait, it looks like, a few more hours, if not one more day, as Long Island and Sugarland are delayed by rain in the 4th inning. Somerset leads Southern Maryland 5-2 in the 3rd. York is up 4-0 in Game 2 over the Road Warriors. They are in the bottom half of the 4th inning. York still has something to play for. They can steal the second wild card from the Long Island Ducks if they do not win the second half, should Sugarland stumble and York win out the rest of the way. Taking a look at the Major League scoreboard, which I've got to bring up again. Somehow, I guess I knocked that tab out, so we'll wait a moment. Padres lead the Mariners 5-4, bottom of the 9th inning. The Nats are up 5-1 over the Phils. They're in the bottom of the 8th. They're going to the bottom of the 9th at Baltimore on the season as well, 10-0. The A's over the Orioles. They need to regroup at Camden Yards. Red Sox still up 1-0, trying to win their 100th of the year, beating the Blue Jays. The ball game is in the top half of the ninth inning, and the ace closer, Craig Kimbrell, is in for Boston. Milwaukee's up 2-0 over the Chicago Cubs. Milwaukee just 2 games out in the NL Central behind the Cubbies. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Yankees and the Twins are scoreless in the 6th. No hits for the Yankees through 6 innings so far. The Royals and the White Sox knotted at 2 through 5. Arizona's up on Colorado 3-0 in the top of the 3rd. The Dodgers beat the Reds earlier today, 8-1. Astros 5, Tigers 4. The Rays over the Indians 3-1. Pirates 4, Cardinals 3. The Braves beat the Giants 2-1. The Marlins and the Mets have called off one game, and it appears that they have gotten one game started tonight at Citi Field, but they're holding it to one game, and they will make up the other another day. The Barnstormers have done everything they need to do to get to the playoffs here in 2018. They leave here having taken 2 out of 3 from the New Britain Bees. The Barnstormers have played well down the stretch. They're 33-27 here in the second half and 71-52 overall. And when you stop to think about it, this is one of the better overall records the Barnstormers have put together over the years, but it doesn't lead to a half title. The Barnstormers still need for that wild card to develop. It is close. It is not there. Sugarland, if they can get the game going tonight once again against the Long Island Ducks, can wrap it up. The Barnstormers are all but in the playoffs right now. It looks like it's going to be Sugarland. That is not definite. The Barnstormers could end up playing the Somerset Patriots if the Patriots win the second half and York edges out Long Island for the second wild card spot, which would come up. So it's all interesting as we go into the final weekend of play here in 2018. The Barnstormers are off tomorrow, and after playing 4 doubleheaders in 7 days and waiting around quite a bit on Sunday at the ballpark before that game was rained out and the Barnstormers were fed so well by the boosters. It's been quite the grind for this Barnstormers ball club, but now a day to rest tomorrow before the Road Warriors come in, and a 3-game weekend series kicks off on Friday night. The Barnstormers with Nate Reed scheduled, Felix Baez on the hill for the travel squad. We'll have it for you beginning with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report at 6:45 on Friday evening. Meanwhile, keep the folks in the path of Hurricane Florence in your thoughts and your prayers. That storm does seem to be weakening a little bit, but obviously high winds, storm surge, drenching rains. It's going to be a difficult road for the people on the southeast coast. So until Friday night, for all the cast and crew back at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a pleasant evening, everyone, and stay tuned for what goes on down in Sugarland. And Friday night, we'll see you at the ballpark.